It's the Crows' first match in Melbourne. Essendon versus Adelaide, live from Windy Hill.
But it'll be the match of the round next week against Essendon at Windy Hill. I think there might be some silences then, though.
We don't expect much help from the crowd there.
And a very good afternoon, everyone, from Windy Hill. And this afternoon, it's not too bad. We've certainly had worse conditions out here. And a very important match as we continue round 4. The Adelaide Crows making their first daytime appearance in Melbourne. And they come up against an in-form Essendon combination who a short while back were written off by many members of the media. The Bombers, though, they beat Richmond in the last kick of the day. Very impressive against North Melbourne. Adelaide, on the other hand, have won 2 out of their 3 games. They were, they lowered their colours against Carlton at Football Park, but of course last Sunday at the Sydney Cricket Ground they bounced back particularly well to come from behind to defeat Sydney by something in the vicinity of 4 goals. And here they come, running on to Windy Hill this afternoon for the first time. Captains and coaches' appointments we'll check in just a moment. Kevin Sheedy, of course, the long-time coach of Essendon. Tim Watson not playing today. And we understand Mark Thompson, their vice-captain, is also not playing. Graham Corns, coach of Adelaide, and Chris McDermott, of course, was elected captain pre-season. Crowd, well, I would reckon in the vicinity of 18 to 20,000 at the moment, and you can guarantee that 99.9% of those will indeed be wearing the red and black colours here this afternoon. It's a difficult task for Adelaide, as I'm sure Peter McKenna and Don Scott will agree.
Well, the Crows have been very impressive, Pete, so far. I feel it was a top win last Sunday against the Swans. I thought the Swans had them at half-time, Don, but very difficult to come out here and win first up.
Well, it is difficult, Peter, but there we may see the initial change. You know, Donald Thompson was named in the back pocket, but you never know how they will line up.
Well, the Essendon half-back line, Fransberg, well, he's a makeshift centre-half-back, but a good player, and Smith has been very impressive, a very strong mark.
A good battle there between Kickett and Jarman if they line up, but this is the winning line for the Adelaide, the centre line.
Well, the Essendon half-forward line, Peter Somerville's been excellent form. Former South Australian there, actually. Gavin Wanganeen from Port Adelaide. McIntyre has impressed me when he has played for the Crows.
Interesting to see whether Flood actually lines up there for Essendon. Philandia coming in for his first game for the Bombers.
Well, Paul Salmon lining up there, a great player, of course. Mark Micken, good to see him back in the lineup. Very strong ruck roving and roving division there for Adelaide.
And as we know, these fellows could start on the ground. Ridley did last week for Essendon. O'Brien, Hughes, Danny Hughes, the former Melbourne player, and Young Rowe for the Adelaide side.
Well, thank you, Don. Thank you, Peter. And in the absence, of course, of Watson and Thompson, we understand that Paul Salmon is likely to captain the side here this afternoon. We'll take a break from Windy Hill. Back with the first quarter. Adelaide and the Bombers in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Andrew Jarman from the Adelaide Crows, and you're watching AFL on 7.
4 other matches being played today, also in round 4. It'll be a sellout crowd down at Moorabbin, St Kilda and Collingwood. Richmond playing Sydney. Detroit tackling Footscray, and out at VFL Park, another big crowd in attendance for the clash between Melbourne and Carlton. We'll have progress scores from all venues throughout the day, and highlights will be St Kilda Collingwood clash at half-time and also at the end of the match as Graham Corns looks on. Stuart Healy on the boundary line today, listening in on what the coaches have to say at quarter-time as well. As we go to Gerard, good afternoon for the Mitsubishi Motors.
Thanks, Peter.
Report.
Well, the Camry Crows, they can thank their lucky stars because the Windy Hill Monster certainly isn't living up to its reputation today. Looking at the Mitsubishi Motors weatherometer, we have a current temperature of 21.7 degrees, which is almost the expected top temperature of 22 degrees. Humidity is presently 53%, and there's a 10-kilometre wind blowing straight across the ground towards the cameras, so no goal advantage. Ground conditions are excellent, and the forecast is for a fine, mild day with light winds tending south to southwesterly. And Peter, could it be a sheedy tactic, or am I just a little paranoid, but there's not one flag or windsock in sight?
Yes, you did right, Gerard. There is not one around the ground at all, not even on top of the scoreboard. We used to have the Ansett windsock on the other side of the ground. That's disappeared. All disappeared.
Well, there's no doubt after watching the reserves, that's where the windsock used to be, but there's the Adelaide Crows. But, well, Tony McGuinness would know a little bit about this ground, and left to right in the seconds, they were certainly scoring to the right-hand side, and they were kicking a lot further to that end of the ground.
Well, only about 3 players in the Adelaide lineup Pete would have played here before. Danny Hughes, of course, who's been named on the bench, or Mark Micken maybe, and Filkey perhaps.
Well, Micken's lining up on the bench, named in the ruck Mark Micken.
Grounded pretty hard. It's on before the bell.
And Michael Long and Genza
just started with a little bit of push and shoving.
Oh! Emergency umpires out there already.
So the umpire's getting it going.
bit of feeling.
Fight's underway before the match gets underway here at Windy Hill. The Adelaide Crows making their first appearance, and still the ball hasn't been bounced.
There's a free kick because Greg Anderson didn't get out of the centre.
Yes, it's going to Adelaide. One extra man in the square, and Romano Negri takes the free kick, kicks it down. It's all Essendon. Salmon starting in defence. Cransburg. Hand pass. Comes out to O'Brien. Chance for the Bombers through Kelly O'Donnell. Left centre wing. Beautiful block there by Jarman. Put the body in superbly.
That was interesting, that centre bounce, Pete. Actually, McDermott pointed the umpire out.
That's right.
They had too many in that square.
So he's doing a Teddy Whitten. He's umpiring as well. And there he is, the Adelaide skipper. It's going to be another Adelaide free kick. And it'll be the second one going to the big man, Negri, who I thought was best on the ground against the Sydney Swans last week at the SCG. Played a superb game. Fregenza, hand pass, Rowe, short to the boundary line. Be just a little bit too close, I think, for Salmon. He's taken it, kept the ball in play. He did well. Danaher.
You can see McMullen in the back pocket for Essendon, named half forward. O'Brien coming onto the ground. He was named on interchange.
I think the ball has gone out of bounds, has it, Don?
Yep.
They did play on, but Salmon did make a valiant attempt to keep it in, but was not successful. And so it will be a throw-in in the right forward pocket for the Crows.
And the Essendon supporters felt that was still in play, as we see Salmon and Smith tapped down by Salmon Louisa, was beautifully done off the side of the boot, and it beats O'Brien over the line, half forward for the Crows.
And also taking their place is Hughes at full back, and also Rowe for the Adelaide side.
Well, a very important quarter this for the Crows. After, as I said earlier, after watching the seconds, well, definitely the scoring end the Crows are kicking to. There's McDermott, a quick hand pass, it's shuffled out to O'Donnell. That was from Marshall on to Buick. Buick the half forward. Is that a mark? No to Somerville. Umpire calls play on a hand pass, comes to Anderson from Palandia. Anderson to full forward, Madden at the back. Can't get back there quickly enough. And the ball rolls over the line deep in the forward pocket. Bruce Abernathy was the chaser. 33 years of age. Simon Madden's been a magnificent ruckman, one of the best ever to have played the game. Negri, very impressive also against Madden. Madden flies early and hooks it over the back. Negri gets in a hand pass to McGuinness. There's a quick kick by Flood. across the face, and the ball will be taken away by Alan Bartlett to the half-back line. The clearing kick, O'Donnell leads in the race and takes the mark.
And covering plenty of ground, Jarman late on the scene, centering kick by O'Donnell, and then strong mark taken by Flood. Inside 50, and a chance to put the Bombers' first goal on the board.
It was a good mark by Flood, because I just thought he may have been out of position. Despite the opposition, he took a good overhead mark.
Despite the fact we haven't got any flags, kicking to the end favoured by this south to southwesterly breeze. Ball drifts off target a fraction. Long, twisting, turning, gets his kick in. Oh, off the ground, that's a goal. Well, the Bombers score first blood. 1 goal, 6 points, and the Crows yet to score. Philandia.
Well, it was an easy goal. It was coming through the little rover Philandia. His first game, we saw him in the night series. But there's a high ball from Flood, and the Essendon side really had to work hard, because I thought there, the Philandia had the run. Long took it off him, and they just scrambled it through. But nonetheless, he'd be very happy with that, his first kick in AFL football.
Back to the centre, Negri. Taken away by Marshall. To the half-forward line, Rowe out position. Kick it. Beautifully to McMullen. They're looking all right, the Bombers so far. McMullen a hurried kick to centre wing, and he puts it out of bounds. Number 12 for the Bombers is Craig O'Brien, only a youngster.
He's got the job on the veteran Marshall. Anderson's got the job on Filkey on the other wing.
Negri and Somerville. Negri taps it down. He was looking for Tregenza. Gavin Wanganeen takes it over the line. Former Port Adelaide boy. Youngest player to enter League AFL football this year. 17 years of age. Again, Negri beaten to that one by Somerville. McGuinness. Quick hand pass. This is Lindsay. Taps it round the line and over.
And McDermott places the ball on the boundary line, where he thinks it should be thrown back in. It will be on centre wing. Somerville taps down. Marshall. A wobbly punt kick up towards half forward. Salmon in the road for the Bombers. Oh, not the greatest of hand passes. Could come unstuck. Ooh! Oh, he took McDermott's head off. Still the call from the umpire is play on. Two Bombers colliding. McMullen might be able to finally pick the ball up. It's socked forward up towards their centre half forward position. Good turn of speed by Buick. 35 metres out. Drills it. Buick and Philandia, goal kickers for the Bombers. They lead by 12 points.
Well, it all started by keeping the ball moving. It started with Salmon on the back end of the square, kicked the ball along the ground, and then it was O'Brien further to the centre, got it out off the ground of Buick, and Buick running onto the ball, his first, Essendon second.
Two goals straight to the Bombers. Magnificent start. And they look pretty desperate. There's Anderson getting it out, but straight to Marshall. Marshall a hurried kick to the half-forward line. Fransberg leads in the race onto his non-preferred foot. Shuffles it round the boundary line. A diving attempt, and the mark has been taken by Bruce Lindsay. Great start this by Essendon, because certainly that's the non-scoring win. Look at that mark by Salmon. He's coming across that half-back line, playing the loose man and doing well, captaining the side today. Finds Ed Considine further afield, right out in the boundary line. Considine, lovely kick to half forward. Over the back is Bartlett and takes him up, but there was a push out in the meantime, and it will be a free kick to Somerville.
Against Bartlett. Kick drops a little bit short, and it will be taken by Scott Lee. Had the ball in control before it was punched clear. Lee from the true centre half back position, straight down the ground. Salmon again, hit him on the chest. Jarman kicks the ball around his body, up towards half forward. McMullen in the road. Bombers defence standing firm so far. Doing well. O'Brien again. Long. He was in a little bit of a dust-up before the match got underway. Beautiful skills from this fellow. Kick it. And he will. No, he won't. He went for the hand pass. O'Donnell, who's been good so far. Izard, back to kick it. He'll have a shot at this one. Can't bring it around enough, and off target for only one behind.
There was a lot of composure in that Essendon side, the way that Long got the ball away, although he had the free kick. and they're running well. And Kickett starting down half-back, running down the ground. It's good to see half-backs and half-backs running further down the ground to kick goals and points.
Danny Hughes, who's named on the bench to kick the ball back. Favours the member stand side. That's going to bounce pretty close to out of bounds. And did Smart get there or not? I think he just got a fingertip to it. He did.
And the Essendon supporters appealing for deliberate then. That was a bit tough, but you won't hear a murmur when Adelaide score. It's all Essendon supporters here. Now that might have been a push out against Summerall. The umpire didn't pay it. It was Bartley. Now it's Wanganeen. On to O'Brien. Danger here again for the Crows because Madden sets himself. Was that a free kick? Umpire didn't think so. Philandia grabbed when he didn't have it. Plays on. Over to Buick. Buick dodging and weaving. Now he'll go short to Wanganeen, and a lot of composure shown by Buick. I thought it could have been a free kick.
I thought so too, Peter. I thought there's a couple of free kicks that have just gone unnoticed, and there was one there I thought Madden infringed when going for the ball. He's got into the back of Abernathy, but nonetheless, we're here commentating. The umpire's out there adjudicating.
Well, here's Gavin Wanganeen. South Australian will kick from 45 metres directly in front. A beautifully guided kick. It's another one to the Bombers. 3 goals struck.
Wanganeen, Buick and Philandia, the goal kickers for Essendon. The Bombers 3-1. Adelaide yet to score.
Well, Adelaide, when they actually started this game, had a bit of purpose the way they attacked the ball, but they just didn't capitalise when it did go down on their forward line, whereas Essendon have only gone in there a few times, actually 3 times, and they've capitalised each time. And again, they start sharing the ball around. 3 different goal kickers.
19 points the difference. McDermott, the 2 number 10s, O'Donnell, Filkey. Can't get the ball out of the centre. Again, it's O'Brien, his 3rd possession. Up towards half forward. Smart. Very skilled player. Did a good job on Dunstall. And the Bombers again had the chance. Former captain Madden steadies. The trusty left foot looks as good as ever. Their 4th goal.
Well, it is a dream start. I haven't seen a start like this for a long time. Only 16 minutes in, 25 points on the board. And everything that Essendon do is coming off. Now watch this. Philandia will get involved here. He'll chop it off. Smart doing well getting out in front. See the chop out by Philandia and then Madden. Everything going right for the Bomber side.
Philandia's had a hand in 2 goals, Pete.
4-1 plays nothing at the moment. Salmon doing well, taps it down. That's a Bart with a long hand pass. Hamilton was caught. Maynard. Free kick to Maynard, but too high. That will come back to half forward, and Rodney Maynard, Dono will go.
My word is he loves kicking a goal and running.
Here's the lead up at full forward. Tapped down again by Anthony Dano. Here's Rowe on the left foot. Yeah, or the mark dropped by Smith. But deep in that forward pocket, a left foot snap. And he's offline now. Was that Tony McGuinness? It was.
So looking at Rodney Maynard, he looks to be favouring the left hand. Otherwise, he may have that idiosyncrasy the way he runs, but he's definitely holding that left arm.
Anthony Danaher, watch his kicking. One of the best kicks in the game. Torpedo punt. Doesn't quite get onto it. Negri punches it to the ground. Jarman trying to play for the free kick. McDermott in after it on O'Donnell. O'Donnell, quick hand pass back to Salmon. Salmon looking for Somerville. That was Tregenza. Now a chance for Klug on the left foot, but Anthony Danaher playing in front. I think they'll miss Scott Hodges up there today, the Adelaide Crows.
No doubt about that, Pete. Izzard. Considine. And the ball taken away from him by Maynard. Out of bounds. 50-metre mark. Right half forward flank for the Adelaide Crows. Maynard speaking to the runner and vice versa as well. He crowded around the bounce. O'Brien, his 4th possession. McMullen at left half-back flank. Tears along the boundary line. Awkward kick to mark. Nonetheless, it was done pretty well by Scott Lee. To half forward again. Izzard at the fall of the ball. And pushed out of bounds by the Adelaide captain. The ball will be thrown back into play. Almost the identical position it was before. A little bit further out, perhaps. Oh, it's a wrestle. Nothing for it. Kransberg got a kick at the ball. He's out on the bottom of the pack.
It's good to see Rovers putting themselves into packs like Izzard did on that occasion.
Came up with the free kick, so justly rewarded Don. Kicks to midfield. And a good mark taken by Lindsay in front of Wanganeen. One of the veterans in the Adelaide Crows lineup, Bruce Lindsay from centre field, kicks to the left half-forward flank. Big pack of players. Here's all Essendon again at the fall of the ball. Cransberg left it for Danaher, and he'll clear.
Anthony Danaher back to centre wing, some wrestling going on. Oh, what a great mark. Brilliant mark taken down there by Bartlett. Long kick to full forward. Negri sets himself. Can't quite take the mark. He put himself in front, but they're mopping up well, the Bombers. This is Gary O'Donnell. He's got loose men everywhere at the moment. O'Brien will look for Anderson. Anderson under pressure, but gets in the hand pass. Back to O'Brien on the long. The Bombers looking very, very good. Flood. Anderson. Half forward. Madden comes from behind and flies. Can't take it. Umpire's found a free kick. And this time it'll go to Simon Madden. On the shoulder.
You can say he was in front, but doesn't seem to be any justice in football sometimes, does there?
Well,
we'll
let's
see this. Hamilton backing. There's around the neck, but
well, Simon Madden kicking for the Bombers' fifth. He'll kick from 50 metres. Oh, wobbly one. The forward pocket. It bounces back into the action, and eventually it's forced through for a behind of the Bombers. Here's the Essendon champ. Kevin Sheedy will be absolutely wrapped in this start. They're in good form, Essendon. 4-2. The Crows one behind.
Danny Hughes. Last week at the SCG kicked in quite a few times with a torpedo punt, but with the drop punt on that occasion, getting some pretty good distance. Marshall leading in the race for the ball. Nearly got taken out of it. Tregenza, good smother by Michael Long, and picks it up brilliantly. Tried for Cransberg, couldn't find him. Long again, finds O'Brien this time. Good tackle, Jarman. Kick it on his own at the edge of the square. Around Hughes, short, into the pocket, and brilliant football from Essendon. Somerville well within kicking distance.
The kick on that occasion could have gone over the top if he thought a little quicker, because Philandia was by himself there where he made the balk. A little earlier he could have gone over the top, but still he made the most of his kick in Somerville. And coming off is Maynard for the Adelaide side, and coming on is Bickley.
Back with Somerville. The wind might bring it around. We'll have to wait on the goal umpire for that one. I think it might have shaved the post, did it? It did. So behind to Essendon, 4-3 their tally. And Denny Hughes has been particularly busy kicking in. As Maynard sits the bench. We haven't seen Bickley before taking his place. So not a real pleasant debut for the Adelaide Crows here at the moment. Knocked down by Salmon. Out it comes to Rowe on the edge of the square. Trying to find Smith. A little bit too long for him. Danaher goes for the boundary line. Smith did well. Got a second tap to it, but still couldn't keep it in play. And it'll be thrown in at the 50-metre mark.
Could have been an Essendon player, Smith. Darren Smith, he drafted number 11 in the 89 draft by Essendon.
Klug over the top. Tried for Rowe with the hand pass. Rowe in turn, back to McGuinness. Bomber fans looking for a throw. Cransberg, a lovely balk. Ground a little bit soft. It must have been watered recently. Hasn't been too much rain. Bickley on the bottom of the pack. Pretty untidy this. Finally into the open spaces. Long, who's been brilliant today to put Essendon into attack again.
He's looking for Philandia. Well, he was dragged off the ball. It will be a free kick coming back to Philandia, or is the umpire playing advantage? Advantage is in. Anderson to kick it. Kick it another short one. The half forward, that's a mark. Or a free kick. Whichever way you want to look at that one. And it's been taken by Buick. Darren Buick. He's a welcome addition to this side. Played a great game last week against North. And he's got exceptional pace.
We saw that earlier for that goal, Pete, didn't we?
Well, distance might be a doubt here. He'll kick from about 52 metres. As I said earlier, certainly the Crows kicking to the scoring end. Well, let's see this kick. Oh, beautiful drop punt, but he's hooked it across his body. And as far as distance, it was a good kick.
Well, it's got the wind behind him, Peter, because the wind is blowing across the ground into our faces, or into the camera's face.
Well, in the reserves, they kicked a lot more goals to the right-hand end that the Crows have got. So, sure, that's a scoring in, but the wind slightly across. Well, we have Smart flying for this mark. Couldn't take it. Chance for Tregenza. He's got plenty of pace. To the half-forward line. He's looking for McIntyre. McIntyre plays the front position well. Beautifully done to Klug. Now, can he get in a hand pass? He's looking for Jarman, who waited for it. Shouldn't have done that and allowed kick it in. O'Brien's there, back to kick it, and the Bombers looking very, very sharp. Izzard the flyer, can't take the mark on centre wing. The Essendon crowd making plenty of noise.
Just echoing the thought that we gave us earlier about Hodges. They certainly will miss him down there. Hasn't really got a focal point in attack at the moment. Jarman will get a free kick for being held but not in possession.
McDermott going off, the captain going off, Maynard coming back on for the Crows.
Jarman at right centre wing. Centering kick, Negri. Unless there's a free kick, there is. The recipient will be Salmon, who's been brilliant across the half back line. Anderson. Oh, he actually kicked into Salmon, but it won't matter. Cransberg. Essendon running in 2s and 3s down the ground. Izzard still got the hand pass out. Bartlett finally for the Crows. Lobs one up towards centre half forward. Rowe, yes, great mark. Good mark. Now this will give us a good idea of the wind. Gone short, and Marshall takes it. Marshall well within kicking distance, 35 metres out, so perhaps their first goal. As the clock ticks down, under 9 minutes remaining in the quarter.
I was just going to criticise Michael Long for allowing Marshall to get away, but he's got Tregenza. Long. We see he's got Marshall.
And for trivia buffs, he's kicked the Adelaide Crows' first goal at Windy Hill. And a badly needed one, to say the least. 4-4 to 1-1.
Was down a little bit last week, David Marshall, but he is a catalyst, as is Tregenza, Felke and Jarman on the Adelaide side. There he is. Just wondering where he's going. Looks like he's gone ruck roving or in the centre.
.21 points the margin. Bombers in front. A badly needed goal, that one. They need McGuinness really firing up now. He lies on top of the ball then. He is pinged for holding the ball. You've got to make some attempt to get it out. Izzard, one of their really pacey players, kicks to half forward. Over the back, Abernethy. Kicks it wide and the mark has been taken by Ed Considine. Diving mark. Considine from half forward. Oh, a beautiful kick. Somerville at the back. Oh, almost dragged in a good mark. Hand pass was out from Smart. Socket off the ground by Wanganeen. And it's still in after it is Wanganeen. And eventually the ball did roll over the line at half forward for the Bombers. The attacking side of the ground is the far side where the ball is now. Salmon. This is Grantley Filkey to Hughes. Danny Hughes, former Melbourne fullback. A wobbly kick to centre wing. Long has been devastating so far. Michael Long, the short kick, is a good one because he's found O'Brien. O'Brien getting onto the left foot, hooks it hard and high. One-on-one contest, tapped over the back. It sets up Buick. The players charge in after it. Bartlett, a hurry kick out of defence, and he's found Tregenza, who drops the mark. The umpire's paid a free kick.
Tregenza at the right half-back flank for the Crows. Looks for Negri. He and Madden both got underneath the ball. Kick it, looking for the free kick. Doesn't matter, he comes out with the ball anyway. Beautifully directed pass to Izzard. And the Bomber midfielders and small players are cutting their opponents to ribbons at the moment. Made a mess of that nonetheless. McGuinness will get his first kick. The whistle has gone. He's only had one hand pass so far, Tony McGuinness. So a quiet quarter for him. He's got a few teammates that we could also put into that category. Bounce inside the square, thumped away by Somerville. Chance for Buick again, who kicked a beautiful goal on the run earlier in the term. Izzard, barely the required distance. Umpire has paid the money.
Some of the short passing been of a very, very high standard by Essendon in this the first quarter. The way they've spotted guys, sometimes you wonder whether it's a missed kick. But that was a great pass.
Izzard. Fifth possession. And he's put it through for 4 points. So a magnificent start by Essendon, 9 effective scoring shots to 2, and the Bombers lead 5-4 to 1-1 at Windy Hill.
Well, when they go well, Essendon, they seem to share the goals around, and that's their 5th goal kicker there on screen, Alan Izard. Last week they had 11 or 12 goal kickers in their win over North Melbourne. And when they do play well earlier, I said they've got a lot of goal kickers.
The Bombers by 27 points, and the Crows will really have to get a move on. Negri and Madden, no decisive hit out. Here's O'Donnell. A little bit more desperate, Essendon, at the moment. Oh, well taken by Philandia. Back to Cransburg. The short one, looking for Buick. But beautifully taken by Bruce Abernethy. Abernethy right out wide. Can Klug get there? He can. And that was a very, very good mark. John Klug on the left foot, bringing it up to Negri. Should mark this. Oh, he got right underneath that, misjudging the breeze. Smith. McGuinness can't get there. Hamilton overruns it. Now a chance for Filkey. Broke the tackle, hooks it back in front of goal. A one-on-one contest. Adelaide Crows take front position, but Cransburg grabs it off the pack, handballs to the line, and over it went. But they really will miss Hodges up there today with his movement. Timmy Watson, champion ruck rover and captain of the side, looking on.
Under 5 minutes left in the opening term. It's been a good one for Essendon. O'Brien, advantage well played, no, all going back.
Now Stephen Rowe, the offender on that occasion.
McMullen, left half-back flank. Kicks to centre wing, pumping punch away by Somerville, and they went 20 metres in the air. Ball spills free for Bartlett. And kicks to half-forward, McMullen again. He's done from half-back flank now, much better kick. Long to the half-forward line. Flood, free kick, Adelaide Crows to be taken by Smart.
Rather soft free kick. I thought maybe there was a trip, maybe Smart might have tipped over his own feet initially.
Again, Ruckman misjudging it. Marshall, the Crows' only goal kicker so far, class player. Some good performances by him in the first few games played by the fledgling AFL club. Danaher takes the ball out of bounds in front of McIntyre, and 45 metres out we'll see a throw-in. The Crows still coming to grips with the Essendon crowd and ground. Oh, Klug nearly had his hands taken off. Rowe, snapshot, hooks it across the ground. Danaher again, twisted away. Anderson gives the ball back in turn to Hamilton. Hamilton's kick to centre wing. Flood, Considine, drag down, still gets his kick in. Philandia copped one a little bit high, and Wanganeen dives on it and takes possession. Well done on the Flood.
Abernethy doing some nice work in defence. A very skilled player, Bruce Abernethy, to the half-forward line, but Izard comes out to take their mark. And they're playing on at all opportunities. Anderson, another former South Australian, playing for the Bombers. O'Donnell, long. Oh, well done by Maynard. The chip in that would have been created the loose man to kick it. Now it's Marshall. Tregenza, the short one, looking for McIntyre. He overruns the ball, and the Bombers will get away again. This is Paul Hamilton. Oh, he's kicked it straight out to Tregenza. Now there's loose men everywhere for the Crows. A shocking kick by Tregenza. It should have hit him right on the chest. McGuinness, but it missed him. Long, David to Hamilton, onto O'Brien. O'Brien kicks, beautiful kick to half forward. Abernethy should have been a free kick, and used his body beautifully, and will get it at half back. But what a poor kick down there at half forward for the Crows.
The umpire in the right position to catch Philandia holding on to Abernethy. They went for that ball. There's a lot of holding going on in AFL football at the moment.
Kick number 4 for Abernethy. He's been busy in the first quarter. Smith in the middle of 2 Bombers. Considine tries to fist the ball clear. Hamilton, short kick. Philandia and Lindsay. Rowe. Second bite for Rowe. Filkey, left centre wing. Bickley, left half forward. Got plenty of distance with that kick. McIntyre went up one-handed. And Cransburg, the Essendon defence working overtime and working well. Hamilton, loose players everywhere. O'Donnell, Gary O'Donnell, centre half back, straight down the ground. Playing in front, Danny Hughes. Jarman. O'Donnell loses it. Ball tapped wide. Back it comes to Tregenza. The centering kick from him. And Klug takes the mark. And he would suggest he'd be almost within kicking distance here, Pete.
And Todd Ridley's come on for Essendon, replacing Flood, David Flood, who's playing up on the forward line.
John Klug from directly in front, 45 metres they could do with this one. Oh, beautiful kick, straight through the middle, goal. Well, that's his first, and Adelaide Crows have kicked the second. 5-4 plays 2-1.
Looks a very casual player, John Klug. He's a long striding player. Here in a good position. He's handled the ball well on a couple of occasions today. 45 metres out, that's a good kick for goal, and a badly needed goal by the Crows.
(5-4 to 2-1), and one thing we do know about the Adelaide Crows, they will keep going. They'll fight back. That's McMullen to the half-forward line. Good mark. Danny Hughes. Off he goes. A hand pass to Smart, who's had a pretty impressive debut in AFL football. Maynard against Kickett. Kickett doing pretty well. Maynard goes in to get it again. Oh, brought the ground. That's Ridley. Madden. Should be Abernethy's mark, and is. He's doing pretty well across half-back, Don.
And Paul Salmon doesn't look too good, being picked up by Danny Hughes at centre half-back. He seems to be clenching the left hip or his stomach, but he just doesn't look to be too good at the moment, the captain.
Centre wing, well done by Marshall, onto Tregenza, taken by Kickett. Oh, that was brilliant play, Derek Kickett. Lovely kick to half-forward too. Somerville was edged out of the contest. Grabbed by Bartlett. They've picked up their game a little bit, the Crows. Bartlett to half-forward. Smith over the back, Klug. Kransberg to Weezard. Could have been a holding decision, but there's the siren to end the first quarter here at Windy Hill. The Bombers an excellent quarter. 5-4, 34, lead the Adelaide Crows 2-1-13.
Advising your birthday, nominate your favourite player, and we will do it. So that's something to be quite interesting. And interstate games, the Red Black Crows are again providing box supporters with interstate memberships in Brisbane, Adelaide and Perth this year. Great contracts are available on my bus, train and air, starting from $119 per person. So if you're interested, phone Michael or Rhonda on 375-677 or call into the Red Black Crow service at 25 Navy Street, Essendon. Only only going to have a pumpkin for Windy Hill. Red and Black, supporting your team in 1991.
5-4 to 2-1 at quarter time. 7 goals kicked and 7 goal kickers. Wanganeen, Buick, Izard, Madden and Philandia for Essendon, Marshall and Klug for the Adelaide Crows. And a reminder, don't forget our exclusive coverage of the NBL basketball season. It's now underway. Check your local guides for details. Round 2 last night. And we had 4 matches, and Adelaide too good for Illawarra, 130 to 118. The Melbourne Tigers have started the season magnificently. They defeated the Spectres last week, and too good for the Sydney Kings last night, 116 to 97. The Newcastle Falcons beaten last week, but they tipped out Hobart in a thriller, 104 to 102. And North Melbourne, 112, defeating Geelong by 3 points, 109. Quarter-time scores from other games today. We've got 4 of them. St Kilda and Collingwood down at Moorabbin, a huge crowd there. The Saints off target, 3-6 to 2-4. Richmond and Sydney, the Tigers, 5-8 to 8-4. So 13 goals kicked in the opening term. Magnificent effort by both sides. Footscray and Fitzroy, dead level. And Melbourne and Carlton, we understand Gary Lyon has left the field there. And that's out at VFL Park. Carlton 6-6, leading the Demons 1-2 at the first change. Gerard Healy, what did the coaches have to say?
Thanks, Peter. Well, Kevin Sheedy was very pleased with the first quarter, and he praised their small players in Long, Kickett, Buick and Izard. He asked them to attack from the outer wing and to keep the forward line open. Well, obviously, Graham Corns didn't have much to be happy about, but he thought they'd turn the corner in the last 5 minutes. He said they must get the ball from the middle and also emphasised the need to attack from the far side of the ground.
Right, thanks Gerard, and we saw a shot there of Paul Salmon speaking to the club doctor Bruce Reid. The stats to quarter time.
Well, they've been dominated naturally enough by Essendon, and yes, there's not much in it except for the tackles of the Crows. That's probably because they're running second, but Essendon doing very, very well.
21 points the difference at quarter time at Windy Hill. The Bombers leading the Crows 5-4 to 2-1. Paul Salmon's off the field, the acting captain for Essendon today. O'Brien, first kick for the term, kicks to right half forward flank. The Crows towards the end of the first term look to be getting their act together just a little bit better. Lindsay overruns the ball. It's scooped out the back, chance for Wanganeen. Umpire has played a free kick. It's going to Adelaide. It will be taken by Lindsay at left half back. Out of the veteran to the side. McMullen punches clear. Smith, didn't see too much of him in the first quarter. They need more from him. Klug, was he tripped? No, play on. Ball shuffled out the back. O'Donnell, Jarman applies the tackle. Holding the ball, says the umpire. It's going to be an Essendon free kick. And it will be taken by Considine, it would appear. O'Donnell looking for it. O'Donnell giving the ball back to Ed Considine. He decides to get on with it quickly to O'Brien, but he can't do that, says the umpire.
And McDermott warming up. He'll come on for the Crows.
Somerville. Just off the edge of the square. Madden can't take the mark. Negri, Smart from right half back. Short kick over the head of Tregenza. And the ball socketed well, cleared by Danaher. And the mark is taken out there for the Bombers by Somerville. Long kick into the square. Nearly a grab. And Forky dragged off it when he didn't have the ball. The free kick.
And Smith gone off for Adelaide, McDermott coming on. So they're going to be a little shorter at that centre-half forward position. Madden playing a centre-half forward for Essendon with Somerville in the ruck.
And Filkey goes to the outer side. Good punch away by Long. The Crows have got to get something mounted here if they can. Filkey takes it from Smart and they go straight down the centre.
Yeah, good play by the Crows. They've really picked up their game. This is McIntyre. He needs some backup support out there. He's on his own. Oh, well done by McIntyre, because, as I said, he had to battle 2 or 3 Essendon players. Anderson gets it to O'Brien. Well done by Lindsay to Jarman. On to Rowe, and Rowe sprints away to the half-forward line. Klug sets himself, and a good mark by Klug.
That was good effort by Klug. It was a 4-1 situation. He was outnumbered.
Now, with Scott Hodges out of the side, they really need McIntyre or Klug to fire.
And there you can see, surrounded by Essendon players. It's a good mark.
Well, he's normally a pretty good kick, but he's on the wrong side of the ground. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Drop punt. He's hooked it, though, to try and get that little bit of extra distance, and he's missed.
Well, he ran out to the right, didn't he, on that occasion, and then dragged it back in.
He did a Peter Sumic.
So he runs the other way.
Only he's a left footer, but Anthony Danaher about to bring it back into play. Let's have a look at how far this kick goes. Essendon crowd love this when he kicks long. There's a drop punt, travelled about 60. Somerville bumped off the ball. Cransberg at the back, caught. O'Donnell. Madden read it well. Hewitt, if he can get it over, he's got a loose man out there, and it's Ed Considine. Flood moving well to Anderson. Anderson hooks it back to the pocket. Denny Hughes. Well, they all waited and looked at each other. Then it ends up with Hughes, though. The hand pass goes straight to Izard. Izard dragged off the ball. Umpire calls play on. Still in that half-forward area. And Andrew Jarman has got it and breaks away. They do with a couple of quick goals, the Crows. It's at half-back. Cransberg. Taps it to centre wing. Rowe. And the umpire's found a free kick, and it will go the way of Rowe. Now, Rowe on centre wing goes short. Well, this is good play by Adelaide. Marshall, has he got someone to kick it to? No, Anthony Danaher back. And that is the perfect time when you need, when Marshall broke clear, there was not one forward made a lead. And
well, McIntyre was with his back to the camera. There just doesn't seem to be any purpose for those forwards when they go forward. And Wanganeen's off for Essendon, and Manning coming on for his first run on the half-forward flank.
Ball out of bounds again. We saw a shot there of Bomber Thompson. A late withdrawal from the side today. So captain and vice-captain missing for Essendon this afternoon. And Paul Salmon, who's captaining the team, is on the bench. And we believe injured. Somerville thumps the ball well clear. Filkey takes the hand pass from Rowe. Kicks at the 50-metre line. Marshall, one of their goal kickers. Tregenza gets it past Long. Somerville stands his ground well. Nobody else there. Buick in front as he nudged out. Negri could have and arguably should have taken the mark. Buick taps on. Abernethy, who had a good first quarter. That's pretty untidy. And it will be a bounce.
I'll tell you what, they've picked up their game, Adelaide. They're getting
tightened up, haven't they?
They're getting plenty of the ball, but they're just falling down up forward.
They're just not falling, capitalising up forward. There's just no system at the moment, but they've just got to keep persisting. They haven't made too many changes, if any, positional changes, the Adelaide side.
14 plays 34. They're certainly not out of the match. Bombers well below strength as well. Anderson hoofed up towards centre wing. Bounce favours the Bombers. Manning's just come onto the ground. He replaced Thompson in the selected side. Centering kick for Ridley, and running into the open goal is Considine, and he's put it through.
Well, you can say great play by Considine because he came off that back flank. But it was also unselfish play by Ridley. When we watch this setup, I thought Manning might have just done a little bit too much, a little ambitious. There's Considine there, set up, and Bickley taken out by a good shepherd by Ridley. And Considine running down in the forward line as he has done on earlier occasions.
And really, that goal was against the run of play. The Bombers 6-4 to 2-2. And when you get it to your forward line, you must kick goals. That's McMullen. Anderson, a hurried kick to half forward. Bartlett will race it to the line, I would think. Oh, he's caught, drops the ball. Manning, McMullen, Philandia from the pocket, kicks across the face. Running back with the flight of the ball. Was it Abernethy, but he couldn't get there. Paul Salmon we saw on the bench. What's the report? Jared Healy.
Yes, Peter, they're not saying too much about Paul Salmon's leg, but he appears to be grabbing in the groin area, and it appears he's got a slight strain, but he will come back on.
Right, thanks, Gerard. Negri up high. And it'll be rushed through for one behind.
It's interesting that Essendon score. They've all been individual goal kickers. The 6 have all been individual goal kickers. And they certainly have a number of avenues to go. And it was good to see Considine kick the last one because he's a half-back flanker.
There's 8 goals and 8 players have kicked them. Danny Hughes kicks in, Jarman and Long. Jarman taps it out, Tregenza. It's Rowe taking it from McDermott up towards half-forward. Izard almost. Jim McGuinness has been quiet. I think that's been his second touch for the day. And over the boundary line. No, it's not over the boundary. It is now.
And Izard seems to have the job permanently on McGuinness, whether he goes in for a rest up the forward line or whether on the ball.
He's done well, Don.
with him. My word, he is. He's done well and picked up a number of kicks, Izzard, too.
5 and 1, his statistic so far. Considine taps down to Somerville. That might be out of bounds on the full. No, bounces about half a metre inside. So luck with the Bombers so far. We have to wait for that one.
Well, look, they're some funny supporters. They even clap when the ball bounces in.
And then at Moorabbin, they applaud everything. Negri and Somerville. Anderson. McMullen. Boundary line is too close. McDermott applies the tackle.
It was nearly off the boot.
Yeah, worth the ask, wasn't it? Ball tapped down to McMullen, whose arm in there. Kick by Rowe to the edge of the square. Maynard got a couple of hands to it. O'Brien went through without the ball. It's going to be a free kick.
Well done by O'Brien initially to read that off the pack. Got right under on the feet. It was a 50-metre penalty. That was against Filkey because he went across the mark. You're not allowed to follow or go across the mark of the fellow who's actually got the kick.
Easy for the umpire to measure that one out. It was on the other end of the square, so he brought him down to the attacking side of it. Really good player for Essendon so far today, O'Brien. 8 and 5 his stats, so it's his 9th kick. And Simon Madden.
It's bad marking by Bartlett. He's the centre half back. And Simon is not over-endowed with speed any longer, and he allowed him to get away, Bartlett. He's playing at centre half forward too, Madden. It's a hard position for him to play.
On the right side for a left footer. And the veteran and former captain for his second goal. We haven't had one player kick more than 2, so one. Oh, not a very good kick, distance-wise. He's got the goal. Well, in his long and illustrious VFL/AFL career, Pete, he would not regard that as his best kick.
No, it should really have been touched on the line if they had positioned themselves in the right place.
Look at this. That's a shocking kick off the boot. Unbelievable. They're everything going Essendon's way at the moment as they kick their 7th.
7-5 to 2-2. And although they're getting plenty of the ball, they can't capitalise the Crows. Essendon looking good. That was Bickley. McGuinness battling hard. Izzard shuffles it out. The quick kick was by O'Donnell to half forward. Manning, good use of the body, then caught with it. Umpire calling play on. Bickley again. Receiving from Lee, now to half forward, and a good mark by McIntyre, and that's what they need.
He took that off the hands of the others. A good mark by McIntyre. I was impressed with him in his first game against Hawthorn. A likely type. There he is, getting up well. Just taking it off Cransberg and kick it.
Peter McIntyre for his first goal from directly in front, 45 metres out. A good-looking drop punt. Will it sneak in? I think it does. A beautiful kick.
Well, he did that well, McIntyre. 7-5-47, playing 3-2-20. Micken warming up, still 27 points the difference. But he was injured in that game against Hawthorn. He's just coming back into the side. It was a good kick too and a good mark.
So Marshall, Klug and McIntyre, the goal kickers for the Adelaide Crows. It's back into the centre. Micken warming up on the boundary line. Be interesting to see who he replaces. Negri wins it. Gary O'Donnell straight into the arms of Bruce Lindsay.
McGuinness now on the wing. Anderson picking him up.
He's had a very quiet day, Don, hasn't he? Somerville taps down. It's all Essendon to the fall of the ball. O'Brien, McMullen, a fumble. That could have almost been construed as in the back, but it's holding the ball, says umpire Carey, and the free kick will be taken by Rowe. Just off the edge of centre wing. Kick it. The only one that really went for it. Could have been a free kick. Might have been a bit unlucky. O'Donnell. Manning on left centre wing. First effective touch for the game. Kicks to half forward. Madden couldn't take the mark. Well, Philandia nearly had his head taken off. And he will logically take the free kick at half forward. A little bit short of that position. Jarman being dragged back on the mark. This is poor marking. O'Donnell drifted down from the half back line. No one standing him. And Michael Long on his own again.
Dreadful marking, Don.
Yes, things just not going the way, are they, of the Crows at the moment? They really will have to tighten up. It's a sign. These signs are just ominous signs.
So Michael Long, a chance for his first goal. And hit the post. Just choke, an extra coat of paint.
He's got a funny kicking style. He takes about 3 paces before he kicks that ball.
7-6 to 3-2 at Windy Hill. 28 points the difference. Danny Hughes to kick in again. 13 and a half minutes left in the second term.
Well, he's right out to the half-back line, punched down by Somerville. There's a couple of Crows players there. Marshall is a very impressive player, Marshall. They really need McGuinness to fire. Now he's got it at half-back. He kicks to half-forward. A very ordinary effort, Andrew Jarman, to wait back and let kick it.
Well, he's playing half-back, or half-forward now, Jarman.
Well, he let kick it mark unattended then. It could have been a better effort. It's Izar. Half-forward. It's a free kick going the way of the Bombers to Anderson. Greg Anderson, from the Port Adelaide player himself, looking for Madden. It's thumped the ground over the back. Danny Hughes goes in after it. Well done by Ridley, and then eventually a hurry kick comes out to Manning. He's caught with the ball, and the Crows will get away through Danny Hughes. He's looking for Bickley. Now Bickley's got it. Not the way he moves, young Bickley. Bickley to the half-forward line. Andrew Jarman has it punched away by Hamilton and over the line. Ball is at half-forward. 7-6 plays 3-2. Kick it. He's got the loose ball. Hand pass to O'Donnell. They're good on the breakaways, Essendon. Look at that kick to Flood. Beautiful pass by O'Donnell, and Flood will kick from 45 metres.
It's a good play by Kickett. I noticed Paul Hamilton tell him to pick up Andrew Jarman. Hamilton had to cover Jarman. Kickett went over nonchalantly, but read the ball well. David set it up.
David Flood, we've got high hopes for him. He's been there a while now. The kick drifts off to the right and eventually forced. In fact, it just snuck through for a behind of the Bombers. David Flood, he's been with the club a few years now and probably hasn't realised his potential as yet, but he's certainly got plenty of ability.
Hughes this time brings the ball to the member stand side. And just one touch inside, that's out of bounds. Before Abernathy could boot the ball clear. Certainly hasn't been the worst of the Crows so far. 5 kicks and 2 marks. But McGuinness 3 and 1, which is a lot down on the usual effort we'd expect from him. And as Peter mentioned earlier, they really need him to fire. Madden's done well. Comes the ball effectively out the back. Manning. Hamilton. On the burst is Considine. Can he boot another one? Spears it down towards the goals. Hughes. Smart. And that's out of bounds in front of Lindsay.
Actually, Considine wasn't, well, he was very unlucky not to, to be paid the free kick because Bickley legged him on that occasion as he kicked the ball. Interesting decision by the umpire.
Madden taps down. Anderson. He's caught by Marshall, and that's holding the ball. One of the Adelaide goal kickers today. Krug and McIntyre the others. Marshall to take the free kick short of right half back. Kicks to centre wing. 2 on 1 in favour of Essendon. Cransberg did the spoil effectively. Jarman. Micken. McDermott. McDermott at right half forward. That's a long bomb up towards the goals. And Danaher will safely see it through in front of McIntyre. Rushed one behind.
Peter, would it be better for McIntyre to start in the goal square? He seems to be coming down the ground, and I suppose that's indicative of side not playing well. You just haven't got a constructive forward line.
Well, if Hodges was there, he would have led to that kick and would have been a goal. So that's when you don't have a recognisable forward. Long, a little bit casual, but he tries to tap it back. He's got backup support from Anderson, who'll be caught, loses it in the tackle. McMullen and McGuinness, socket away by McMullen was good play. He's still got it now. He runs into all sorts of trouble. This is Bartlett and McGuinness. Now who's lying on top of it? Both sides appealing for free kicks there, but I think 2 of them had a go at that one. It's on centre wing. Good umpiring by Peter Carey. Simon Madden lurking around to do the ruck work against Mark Micken. Micken beautifully to Filkey. knocked out of his hands. O'Donnell in the back. I think the umpire thought twice about that, whether it was holding the ball or in the back. Went Essendon's way. Anderson, the half-forward. Maynard takes the mark. Smith still on the bench, of course. I'm pretty surprised at that. That's Bickley. Up to the half-forward line. Jarman a chance. A hurried kick, bounces, or the wrong side. In fact, it's the post. So the Crows needing goals have kicked it behind by Andrew Jarman. 3-4 plays 7-7.
49-22. Danaher. One of the best kicks in the competition. Drop punt this time. Somerville the target in the middle of the pack, couldn't drag it down. Considine kicks it into the open spaces on centre wing. O'Brien will get there first. Kicks the ball across his body. Madden was the target, and Bartlett drops back. He's been played the mark by the umpire. The first time Madden's been outpointed today. He's done well, Simon, the veteran. McGuinness doing a little bit better this quarter. A player they depend on a lot, especially round midfield. He's kicked a half forward. Two players there were in line for it. Jarman and Rowe. McIntyre was the flyer. Didn't come down with a Danaher. Much better judgment. Cransberg. Filkey giving chase. Long and Tregenza. Great skills from Long. He's never beaten the boundary line a little bit too close.
Actually, he did well then, Long, didn't he? He put his body in front of Tregenza, and it was a good battle between the two of them, actually.
8 minutes left in the half. Micken, Maynard. Wobbly punt kick from a standing start off the boot. Kickett got a palm to it. And he's still there. Spins almost into Abernathy. And finally gets the hand pass out to Micken. Kicks it back to Danaher and McIntyre, and Danaher will go for the safety of the boundary line. He's doing a good job down there. Would have been a bit more of a contest had Scott Hodges been able to take his place in the side, and he is sorely missed. We've mentioned it, but it's worth repeating that the forward line isn't really functioning well without him. And there's a free kick. It's going to Micken.
Somerville on that occasion a little strong, fending off with the right arm and going for that with the left.
Formerly in the AFL from the Brisbane Bears.
And their inaugural skipper.
Within kicking distance. And what's he done with that one? One behind. The goal is badly needed. So they tally 3-5 now. They trail Essendon 7-7.
Well, they're not out of it. They only trail by 4-2. And in modern day football, that's certainly not insurmountable.
And Essendon had 4-2 on the board by the 16-minute mark of the first quarter.
And Salmon's off the ground, so it's a chance for the Crows. They only need a couple of quick goals to get their momentum going. Stumped down by Bartlett. Here's Madden. Hamilton. A wobbly one to half forward. Lindsay. Scott Lee. Lee goes to the defensive side, then on to Lindsay. There should be a mark coming up to Bickley, and it is a good mark.
Pushing the back he played.
Well, it was a mark anyway, so a little bit of both. And Bickley, good thinking too. On to Abernathy. Now, this is where they want someone leading. And McIntyre, that's better. He runs out and attacks the ball. That was great play. Now he straightens up, fires in a goal and misses, and that really did deserve a goal, Don.
It's better, Peter, when they could start in the goal square and run at the ball as he did on that occasion. And Essendon making a change. It looks as if Somerville's going to go off. No, they've decided against that. As we see Danaher bringing the ball in. Essendon not playing a huddle, which is interesting.
Yeah, Somerville ran to the line and then ran back again. He's just about going to go for this mark too. There he is. And he's got it. Great effort. He ran 50 metres to take that. Not where the interchange lines are. So that was a good move in keeping him on. Just for that one mark. Maynard held when not in possession. Buick, who kicked a magnificent goal in the first quarter, kicks to O'Brien and or Cransberg. O'Brien took it. They could have raffled it. Oh, Ridley got a mile in the air. Poor Vanderhaar's old number, and it was like Vander's at his best. Essendon fans looking for holding the ball.
Good tackle there by Ridley. And the Crows look as if they've made a change with Maynard on that back line and Smart now on the half-forward line. And No, Smart's gone down on the back line, so it's hard to pick the moves up.
Madden. Easer. Backup support from Buick. Rowe on the bottom of it. Buick snaps and gets it. His second, and the second attempt at that goal. 8-7 to 3-6 at Windy Hill.
Well, he's the second player to go into double figures for the Essendon side. Simon Madden's kicked 2, and now Buick. Buick had a real purple run last week. And here's the bounce down. Madden. Ezard just couldn't get onto it. And it comes out, and Buick just picks the ball up and snaps over the right shoulder.
The margin 31 points as the Bombers go forward again through O'Brien. Oh, courage shown by Smart. It really was courage to back into that pack, and then he put on a hip and shoulder bump, but it was in the back. Louisa, Considine, the short one, and he finds Anderson. Now he is on the right side of the ground for a left footer.
Considine's doing well, isn't he? Half back, he's really setting some attacking moves up.
Greg Anderson, the left footer, runs out. Oh, it doesn't swing back. Is that a mark? Yes, it is. And the mark's been taken by Somerville, but he'll be on a very acute angle.
Did well last week, Somerville. 3 goals. He's got a chance for his first. He's only kicked the 1 point so far.
Yeah, will he run out Don to the right and try and hook it in and open up the goals?
He's gone back far enough, Peter.
Well, he's a player ready for it. Maynard waiting for it. He just slightly, and then kicks across the face.
Bounce, I think.
And one behind. So he probably would have been better off running out.
Well, he did actually run out. He took a couple of steps off the mark.
But I think usually, Don, it's a better idea to actually try a snap kick from that angle. You've got far more chance. Here's Scott Lee trying to sock it off the ground. He needs some backup support out there as players lie on top of it. O'Donnell's there. And how will the umpire see that? He's going to bounce. Next to the little scoreboard, which says that Essendon are 8-8, leading the Crows 3-6.
3.5 minutes left in the half. And a brilliant half from Essendon so far. Micken. Manning loses out. And the ball socket forward, a nest of Crows there. Klug gives it to Lindsay and turned to Jarman. Good tackle, O'Donnell. Still got a possession away. Marshall. Klug overruns it. Long grab, but not in possession, I thought. So to the umpire, free kick, Michael Long, one of Essendon's best. And combining well again with Derek Kickett. He covers a lot of ground in his matches. Kicks to half forward. Manning started on the bench. Nice sidestep around Jarman. And Anderson takes the mark. Maybe just a little bit too far out. He's given that left foot plenty. Somerville went up one-handed, and the ball off the hands of the pack rushed through for one behind.
It's interesting when that ball came down. Hamilton was all by himself in the Essendon forward pocket. Now Hamilton is another backman. Now they're willing to take off and run deep into the forward line, the Essendon back, so they've got to be picked up, and Abernathy is Hamilton's man.
Hughes kicks in, 33 points the difference. One-on-one, Madden in front, McMullen. And plenty of options for him. He looked to go for the kick, and then he's the will of the wisp, marking 50 metres out, right on 50.
He's got some pace.
So was the other weird hit, number 8, Buick. And he's gone for a pass. Woodley and Anderson collided. I don't know who it was intended for. Flood's hand pass is taken by Bartlett. A wobbly kick from that player finds Rowe, and the Crows will get clear.
Well, he can run 50 metres if he likes. That was 2 bounces. Well, Abernathy did some good shepherding to the half-forward line.
He's down too, Abernathy.
He's down, but everyone stop. Let's play on. The umpires haven't blown the whistle, and all the players stop. That is the most amazing thing. No umpire blew a whistle. Every player stopped expecting a free kick, and Abernathy was down. He went in to make the shepherd, and the umpires were calling play on the whole time. It's incredible, and the Crows really blew that. They should have kept going. Blue. Filkey to the half forward like McIntyre. Can he get there? Good attempt. He took front position. Bickley a free kick.
No, that was good play by Bickley, the little fellow, the rover. Getting underneath there, he really had to go, and he did, and he copped the free kick. And Abernathy behind on centre wing is all right. He's on his feet. Trainer in attendance. he seems to be all right.
I wonder if someone in the crowd blew a whistle, because every player just stopped and both umpires were calling play on. Well, this is Bickley from 45 metres. He's trying to swing it back. Just a bit of a loop on it and through for a behind. So the Crows struggling to get goals. 3-7.
Kick 1-6 this quarter.
Essendon remain on 8-9.
Less than a minute in the half remaining. Only one Danaher in the side today. He kicks in. There have been up to 4. Smart. Now the Crows got time to get another score before the siren goes. Jarman takes the hand pass from Bickley. McDermott. That looks pretty good. The Crows fans behind the goal like it. It's full points.
Well, there's not much reaction when the Crows actually do score, and they're making a change. Abernathy, who copped that heavy one, is going to go off. Smith coming on. And really, they're not out of this, the Crows. 26 points, only 4-2 out of it.
And McDermott bringing up his first goal. Marshall, Klug and McIntyre are the other goal kickers. Here it is again. Smart.
Bickley. Jarman dribbles it off the boot, and there he is running by himself. Kick it, although he's picking up a lot of kicks, he's a little loose on occasions, and he was on that occasion not staying shoulder to shoulder with McDermott. Changing their ruck rovers off the half-forward line. Adelaide, Jarman and McDermott.
Half a minute to go in the second term at Windy Hill. That was McDermott's first goal, the Crows' fourth. Only their second of the term, though. Madden up high with Micken. Jarman, almost. Filkey. Good long kick to full forward. McIntyre. McMullen doesn't get the bounce that he wanted, but good backup support from Danaher. And Danaher kicks to the member stand side, going for the boundary line. And in fact, it's over. We might not see too much more play in the first half. And a good half by Essendon. The Bombers rattling on 4 goals in the first few minutes of the opening term. And that set up their good lead at the main change. 8-9-57, the Bombers leading. The Crows 4-7-31. Well, 26 points the difference, Pete, but as we mentioned earlier, those 4 goals came very quickly in the opening term, and since then, Adelaide has kept pace.
Yes, they have, and that player, the row, played a very, very good second quarter. David Flood on screen there, but they're battling away and they're not throwing in the towel, but they just can't capitalise up forward. McIntyre's coming too far up the ground, and he needs a bit of backup support. But at half-time here at Windy Hill, impressive display by the Bombers. They lead 8-9-57 to Adelaide 4-7-31.
We would now like to bring to your attention our 0055 information service. You can now hear Coach Kevin Sheedy commenting on today's game by phoning 11 55 1 3366 after 6 p.m. tonight. Here's from the start of today's game. No need to wait for the television news or tomorrow's newspapers. This exclusive service from Essendon Board supporters will also apply for our interstate game over the next 2 weeks. Be first to hear the selected teams for the weekend game by phoning 0055 13366 on each Thursday night when football manager Kevin Egan reads out both senior and reserve grade sides. So you have an excellent service there, so please take advantage of it. paving, tiles, and various things for the house. When you're building a house, remember, use it. Let us remind you about the bomb shop. There is no need to go anywhere else for your bomb merchandise. The Essendon Bomb Shop is located in the Social Club foyer, and it has it all. Make sure before or after today's game you drop in and have a look at our new range of bomb casual wear, including hooded woolly t-shirts, training shorts, and designer sweatshirts. We also have a complete range of player wear featuring bomber jackets and tracksuits. The bomb shop is open Monday to Friday from 1 p.m.
26 points the difference. It was 21 points at quarter time, so a much better quarter by the Crows, even though Essendon still gained marginally on them. They seem to have lifted their game from about halfway through that opening quarter. And I think that Peter McKenna and Don Scott would agree with that. But you can't give starts, gentlemen, can you?
No, the Essendon looked very, very good early, Don, didn't they? When they get that break, they got that breakaway and got that loose man game going, and top sides play that game very, very well.
Well, they really didn't have a bad player, I didn't think, in the first quarter, Essendon, but the Crows just about matched them, 18 odd points in that quarter to 23. But we mentioned about the forward line, and it's indicative of a side that's not playing well, that you just, when you go forward, it just seems to be a bit of a shambles. And maybe that McIntyre, we've mentioned him or singled him out, maybe he can start his leads from maybe deeper in the forward line, not come out as far, and then they've got to get numbers underneath the ball. And we quickly look at the stats, and they were dominated by Essendon in the first quarter, which naturally enough you'd think, because they really did control the scoreboard as well. And really nothing has changed, although the Crows struggled back into it in the second quarter.
Right, thank you, Don. Thank you, Pete. Well, last night, round 4 got underway under lights at the Wacker ground in Perth, and it saw the West Coast Eagles, after having a bye in the previous round, up against North Melbourne. We go to some highlights of the game now. Our commentators are Drew Morfitt, Dennis Cometti and Ross Glendinning.
Irving didn't take the mark, gets it down towards Matera, who runs away from Gallagher, the ruckman, and Matera can take this all the way to half forward. Spears in the pass. Sumich climbs high. What a mark! Peter Sumich should cap it off with a goal. 48 metres out, slams it through. Clean possession, Gallagher. Romero, goal!
Mark missed by a player who really didn't go at the ball all that strongly. Away comes Lamb, down towards the pocket. Going back is Sumich, keeps it in front, and they've got the numbers, 2-on-1. Sumich snaps, and that's good.
Up towards half forward, Wilson meeting the sandwich. Oh, Turley kept on going, found Heady, off to Lewis. Lewis goes bang for goal. It comes back and through for full points.
And the Eagles, even at this stage of the season, looking very much one of the teams that are going to be in contention for the flag. 18-19, 127. Easily accounting for North Melbourne, 8-7-55. North Melbourne's second decisive feat in a row. And of course, last week they were handsomely beaten by Essendon, who are doing the job this afternoon on the Adelaide Crows. We'll be going down to Bruce McAvaney at Moorabbin for the big clash between St Kilda and Collingwood after this break.
Hand passes together.
Hooksy. David, I'm new, aren't I?
Yeah. That was at quarter time, 63 St Kilda 81.
Yeah, I can talk to Bruce.
Hooksy, how are you, mate?
Oh, g'day, mate. How are you? What's the score?
5-12, 5-7. The Saints by 5 points.
Oh, good match?
Not classic, but really tough and tight. Yeah, it's got a bit of everything.
Yeah. Much rough stuff?
A little bit, yeah. There's been a few little incidents, but nothing too dramatic. But it's been as I said, Cooks, it's been a rough and tough game without being of a great standard. Yeah. But it's very intense.
What's the crowd like?
Oh, full. You know,
yeah.
Couldn't get another.
And loud. Couldn't fit a bit of cigarette paper between them, mate.
That's
is that
the
right?
one, mate. You've got it. And now, what's the score out there?
Essendon by about, 26 points, I think it is.
Yeah, what is it, mate? The exact?
Hang on, what is it, 8-9 to 4-7.
8-9 to 4-7. Robbo's just writing this down. So, they're home, are they?
Oh, I think so, yeah. They kicked 4 goals in the first 8 minutes or something, and that sort of started them off. Salmon's on the bench, injured.
Is he? Salmon's
injured
on the bench.
I don't know what the matter with him is. They wouldn't say much.
Good crowd?
Yeah, not bad. Not capacity, but, goodish, as Bill Laurie would say.
Yeah, goodish. Thanks, Hooksy. Shawnee says hello, Hooksy. He's desperate.
Good, mate.
Hooksy's pleased about
Compliments of the season to him.
Compliments of the season. Merry Christmas, he says, Shawnee, and happy birthday whenever it might be. He's funny, isn't he? Hooksy.
Okay. Yeah.
I did. Second-hand information.
And welcome back to Windy Hill, where Essendon leading by 26 points at half-time over the Adelaide Crows. Last year at the MCG, nearly 68,000 fans saw Collingwood and St Kilda. A 1-point result that was. It was a real thriller at Moorabbin this afternoon. I guess Bruce McAvaney, they're packed in again. What's the score?
They're certainly packed in, Peter. A very big crowd. Capacity here at Moorabbin. The score at half-time, St Kilda 5-12 to Collingwood 5-7. There's a breeze blowing down here. Collingwood did very well in the first quarter to hold the Saints to 8 points, but St Kilda in the second quarter were terrific. They kicked 2-6 into the breeze to 3-3. Jamie Turner scoring after the siren for Collingwood. We've got a tremendous second half coming up. Lowe's kicked 2 and Wilson 2 for the Saints. Let's have a look at the first half highlights.
Now he collects it, gets it to Antrobus. Antrobus gets around, can't get through. Dean Rice, shot for goal by Rice. It looks all right. It's a goal.
Harding and Manson. Manson clearly. Newport. Oh, Anderson clever off the ground. It'll roll through. Goal.
Russell gets past. Good, clever football. Krasiska, hand pass. Dacos. Watch what this man does. Left foot kick is brilliant. Straight onto the chest of Barwick, and he's 30 metres out. Distance not really a problem. He does kick the ball long distances. Drop punt kick is magnificent. Wonderful goal to Barwick. What can Collingwood do with the breeze at their back?
Kitschke in the front spot. Monkhorst at the back. Handball to Russell, good. 45 metres out. Goal.
He gets back and gives the hand pass to Dwyer. He's under enormous pressure. Collingwood's fierce tackling is effective. Barwick caught. Brilliantly caught by McCann.
Centre square. Dacos gives him a lead. The kick to Dacos. And an excellent mark. Brilliant football. And the man who kicked 97 goals last year from 30 metres out and puts it through. So Ian Robertson, the stats very interesting, very even, but it really has been a tale of two halves in one half.
Yes, most certainly, Bruce, and St Kilda not overawed at all about their opposition, the current champions, Collingwood. Collingwood got off to a reasonable start in the first term where they had quite a few more possessions than St Kilda, but the Saints had a very, very good second quarter. You mentioned Robert Harvey. He's probably been the one player that's been able to tackle the conditions here. They're not all that difficult, but the wind is making it harder for the players to handle. Monkhorst has played a key role for Collingwood as their number one ruckman. Francis has been a good player. For St Kilda, I thought Frawley, captaining the side from centre-half back, has been good. McAdam's been a constructive player. But the Saints, they haven't got a lot of big household names in their side, but by gee, they do the disciplined things. You know, players like Muller, Pekin, Nathan Burke, even Kane Taylor in defence. They do the small things that the coach really asks the players to do, and the tight match means that if you give away, the ball slips through, the hand pass is slightly inaccurate, you can easily be taken apart by the opposition, and St Kilda are doing well so far.
They are. It's 5 points in it at half-time, 5-12 to 5-7. The Saints 42 to 37 from Moorabbin.
Right, thanks Bruce, and good on you Robbo. Richmond and the Sydney Swans, very high scoring game this. The Swans led of course Adelaide last Sunday at the SCG, and they're doing the job on Richmond today. 8 in the first quarter, 5 in the second, 13-8 to 9-10 at the main change. Fitzroy and Footscray, and Fitzroy 9-10 after scores were level at the first change, leading Footscray 7-9. So anybody's game that one. The Roys by 13 points, and that at VFL Park today. Another thriller, Melbourne 9-7, trailing Carlton 10-6, and we understand that Mill Hanna has already 6 goals for Carlton. The match tomorrow on 7 Sport is the clash between the Brisbane Bears and Geelong. Not at Carrara, this match is at the Gabba, the first AFL match for the Brisbane Bears at that venue, so Brisbane supporters get along there and cheer along the Bears against Geelong. It's going to be a crackerjack affair. Hope to see you there. It's going to be, I think, a pretty good match. Small ground, so it could be a very high-scoring game. Okay, we'll take a break. Back with more action from Windy Hill after this. Good crowd at Windy Hill. Essendon leading by 26 points at half-time. Some of the crowd giving Gerard Healy plenty of advice. Did you get to the room, Gerard?
No, I was given the Maxwell Smart cone of silence treatment again, Peter, so nothing to report there. But I just would like to make a point about the ground condition. This ground is in excellent condition, but we have still seen many players slipping over, and the reason, of course, is because of their liking for wearing moulded soles. You can see here a skid mark Now this skid mark could be the reason why Essendon or the Crows lose the game. One vital slip because the players aren't wearing their long stops, and it could be the goal that puts the side in front. Now if I was coach, there'd be no way that any of my players would be wearing Molten Soles.
Well, thanks, Gerard.
Today's game is part of the Carlton and United Breweries 1991 AFL Premiership season.
A couple of reminders coming up on 7 Sport. Don't forget the Australian Touring Car Championships tomorrow from Wanneroo. And tomorrow week it's the M-Car Series at Amaroo Park, Sunday, April the 21st. Check your local guides for details of the coverage. As players do their warm-ups for the second half now, let's take a look at some of the individual player statistics. And first of all for the Bombers.
And Craig O'Brien, who was named on interchange, has been a busy little fellow, and as you can see there, 19 possessions in the first half. That's a good day's effort.
David Marshall always impresses me. 7 and 4, and real little worker, and got a lot of talent.
Gary O'Donnell usually has a nullifying a job. He's got 14 possessions, no goals, but he's playing, I think, on the ball. It's hard to pick up where they are playing, half back on the ball.
Well, I thought Stephen Rowe played a terrific second quarter. And look at that, 6 kicks and 1 handball, 11 and 3, and he's having a very good game.
Finally, Greg Anderson, the wingman, 11, and what he does with those kicks is usually go very, very long, and that's his benefit. Long driving kicks from that wing, and he's picked up the 5 handballs. So that's again 16 possessions the first half.
Simon Tregenza, well, look at the first quarter, 8 and 1, and then the second quarter 1 and 1. So he certainly fell away in the second, but they need drive from those medium-sized players, the Crows.
And both teams out on the ground, ready to do battle once again. We saw a sensational start to the first half when there were a couple of Blues on the wing before the ball had even been bounced. Essendon obviously pretty revved up for the match, and so too with the Crows, but it was the Bombers who got the better start, and they had 4 goals on the board before the Crows really knew where they were.
Pete, we must remember that at half-time last week we felt that, well, I certainly felt that the Swans were going to beat the Crows, but the Crows kept at it. There's Paul Salmon. Well, he's still on the bench with Peter Philandia, so he's obviously injured and may not come back on. There's big Romano Negri. But the Crows will keep at it, and they wouldn't want to relax for a moment, Don Essendon.
Well, as we know, Peter, and you said it earlier about this modern-day football, the way they can come back into a game, only 26 points of difference, and if they can start the way, this second half, the way they started the Crows, I think they could be in it, and they've got to get McIntyre leading deep from the full forward line. They've got Smith back on at centre half forward, or on that half forward line, and with Clue, they've got a fairly potent forward line.
Second half from Windy Hill, Essendon leading by 26 points. They led by 21 at the first change. The Crows off to a slow start here. They need to get a better move on early in the third term. Marshall. Kick it. There is a whistle. It's going to be a Crows free kick. Marshall the recipient. Good punch away by Danaher. Cransberg over the head of Rowe. Klug and Flood. Well done by the Essendon player. It's left to O'Brien. He's looking back to see if there's a free kick, and there is. It's going Essendon's way. Of course, had it been the other way, he could have given away 50 metres, so he was careful. Cransberg kicks to centre wing, and the mark is taken by Considine.
He's done well today, Considine.
He's drifted down the ground a lot, Don, hasn't he? Covered a lot of territory, and he's also kicked 1 goal. He's kicked a half forward. Buick chips it in short, long, the mark. Taking it in front of Maynard.
A Buick kick, very reminiscent of what Michael Long can do. I thought he might have gone a little bit far, Buick. He just couldn't spot anyone further. And there it is, the little chip.
Long, kick number 5. Hasn't scored a goal so far. Essendon's goals have been shared around. Buick and Madden both have 2. And that hit the post. 2 posters to the Bombers today. So their tally 8-10, leading Adelaide 4-7. The Crows' first outing at Windy Hill. It's going to be a memorable one as Danny Hughes kicks in.
Beautiful kick by Hughes to Micken. Oh, he's dropped a sitter mark, Micken. But lucky for him, he was loose and able to kick it towards Smith. This is McMullen, tries to crash his way through the centre, but he's lost it. McGuinness, he's the man they want firing. McGuinness to the forward line. Oh, McIntyre should have taken that one. Danaher onto Hamilton, and they rebound beautifully. Essendon, Long, O'Donnell, they had their chance to Crows. Well done, Tregenza. Tremendous, but he's got no backup support there, and Essendon are able to get away with it. Now it's Jarman, McDermott, Tregenza. Now let's see what they do this time. Again, no one leading. And Marshall just has to kick it up to Klug and McIntyre. There's some wrestling going on. Here's a chance for McIntyre. Back to Klug. Klug on the left foot, round the corner. This is close. It's a goal.
Public library sound behind the goal, so it had to be through.
8-10 to 5-7.
Well, they looked as if they're going to make a meal of that, the Crows, the way it went down there. He's not having a good day, McIntyre. He's indecisive as what he was going to do. There was no one in the goal square, and he had to go long. Tregenza. It comes out here to McIntyre. He didn't know what to do there. He spins around, finally gives it to Klug, who really isn't in a good position, but as luck has it, he gets it over the shoulder with a left foot snap. Over the right shoulder with a left foot snap.
2 goals to Klug. Good start by Adelaide to this quarter. If they can get another one. Marshall, Jarman. It might have been touched off the boot. In fact, it was. The umpire calls play on. Flood. Manning out to Long. And away he goes. Tregenza this time won't catch him. There was a beautiful tackle before though, wasn't it? A real gem. Madden couldn't mark it. There's going to be a free kick though to the veteran, it would appear. Yes, Madden to take it. Kicking from about 55 metres out. Kick number 6. Let's see what he can do with that left foot of his. Lands it in the square. Marking contest, none paid. The ball flipped out to O'Brien.
Oh, but surely he hit. No, I thought he hit that, but the umpire said he scooped it or threw it out, Somerville.
Bartlett takes the kick. And the Crows get it up the centre wing. Klug again, who's kicked 2 goals. Looks for McIntyre. Rowe, one of their better players in the first half. On to Lee. Short kick, won't quite make the distance. McMullen gets the favourable bounce that he wanted, and he'll do the tidying up work for Essendon.
Well, they've had tons of chances down there. That's Izard, marking halfback, but again a forward for Ray went astray because they just haven't got that class forward up there to capitalise. Now, that was a push out. Umpire calls play on. This is Bartlett. They've really picked up the tempo of the Crows. That hurry kick, though, has been taken by Kickett. Kickett to Cransberg. Cransberg, centre of the ground, will probably go. No, he goes short. Lindsay doesn't muck around. Punches it back with the 2 fists. Oh, free kick to Smart. And Filkey wanted to play on. Just a couple of little things now starting to go the way of the Crows. Smart. The half-forward line. McIntyre at the back was the big flyer. Kickett tries to knock it on. He had 3 or 4 loose men. One was O'Brien. Now it's Long. Tregenza after him. Great play, Tregenza. Tremendous football to Jarman. Oh, Jarman ran past the ball. Izard, a hurry kick marked by Bartlett. Now they've got a chance. McGuinness again, no one down in the goal square. McGuinness will run and have a shot himself from 50 metres. Kicks Long across the face. But there was not one forward from the goal line to 40 metres out from goal for the Crows.
Well, we sound like a broken record, don't we? But they've got to start their leads from that square.
Kick in, taken by McMullen, or marked by McMullen, in front of Jarman. And quite a handy game, McMullen. Somerville in front. Micken. Ridley. Good tackle O'Brien. The ball rebounds to McGuinness. Doing a bit more in this quarter. Filkey on left centre wing. Or is that 50 metres against Manning? I think it is.
Philandia coming on, and Cransberg has been assisted off the ground by a trainer, and he does not look too good at all.
He's a bit wobbly on his pins. Didn't see what happened there.
I'll tell you what, the Crows have got right back into this game. You can see the tempo's been picked up. They're playing all right now.
It'll be a difficult kick for Filkey. The stands will shelter some of the breeze. Kick number 7. He should. Quite an angle. Goal umpire moves back and says, a goal. The 2 quick goals in this quarter have brought the Crows right back. They trail still 8-10 to 6-8.
Well, very reminiscent when you're commentating in Adelaide, when the opposition side scores a major. There's absolutely no acknowledgement at all from the crowd, and this happened to Filkey, Adelaide being the visitors, and not a murmur from the crowd, which is obviously the indication that a major has been scored.
Well, the margin now only 14 points, and as we said, Essendon wouldn't want to relax for a moment, and I'll tell you what, they're really putting in the Crows. There's O'Brien receiving from McMullen, a wobbly kick, punched by Danny Hughes, down the ground. McGuinness starting to come into the game, and that's made a difference to them. Tregenza and Long having a fantastic battle. Now, Long, Philandia, well done. Philandia to the pocket. Now, which way will it bounce? Hughes, oh, he's got a race back. He's got too much pace for Simon Madden, then hooks her back. Now that was great play by Hughes. McGuinness underneath it, couldn't take the mark, but tremendous thinking by Hughes. He knew he had two players there. McDermott had Kickett, wrestled for it. Now who'll get the loose ball? It's McDermott trying to get it out. Now it's Kickett. Caught with the ball. McMullen gets away from Marshall, a wobbly kick to the half-forward line. Punched down by Somerville, smothered off the boot. Izzard in after it against Lindsay, and how will the umpire see that? He'll bounce it.
Emergency umpire racing out to speak to McDermott and Manning, who were having a punch up on the ground. No numbers were taken. I'll tell you what, I've never seen an umpire get undressed quicker. He had that robe off very, very quickly. Somerville over the top. Philandia overruns the ball. Jarman looking for the free kick. Wanganeen goes in solidly. Knocked down by Smart. Long again. O'Brien. Looping hand pass. Considine, a dummy to get around Jarman. And there's only coat hanger by Filkey. O'Donnell, long shot. He's off target. One behind. So a point to Essendon. The Bombers tally 8-11. They've scored just two behinds this quarter. Bruce Lindsay to bring the ball back. Favours the member stand side. 2-on-1 in favour of the Crows. Maynard in front of his opposite number 18, and Ridley takes the mark. Kick number 4 from Maynard. Not a long one, only about 40 metres. Smith was the target. Bartlett, he travels about 30 metres. Considine again. He kicks into the man on the mark. Now McMullen does the tidying up work for the Bombers on this occasion. It's Hamilton away from Smith. The hand passes to O'Brien. Smith just about got him. Good tackle. Maynard up one-handed. Buick close to the line, with the ball beating Hughes over it. As we go down to Gerard Healy, what's the matter with Cransburg, Gerard?
Well, he's copped a nasty knock to the nose, and he's got a suspected broken nose, but he looks pretty good, and he should be able to come back on.
There's Merv Kane on the right of screen, coasting South Australia for a short stint. Now there's Maynard. McGuinness, he's really starting to come into the game. Tony McGuinness, beautiful kick, looking for Smith, who should mark, and two bites of the cherry. Umpire didn't pay it. Considine takes it to the line, so it'll be a throw-in. No, out in the full. So it'll be a kick to Bickley. So things going the way of the Crows at the moment. Kickett marks at half-back. Well done. Not working hard enough, some of those Crows forwards. O'Donnell. Lindsay at the back. The ball thumped the ground. Smart. Rowe. And the mark is taken centre wing by Filkey. Off he goes. Filkey transfers play. Good play. Oh, Bartlett couldn't get back there. Jarman puts on the tackle. This is Long. Oh, that could be holding the ball. Yes, it is. Centre of the ground. Tregenza's really working hard. Now the short one is on this time. Oh, McIntyre at the back. Kickett came across the front. They haven't got much idea up forward, the Crows, as O'Donnell will take it out of defence.
Yes, as a former full forward, you notice that, Pete, and you'd have to agree. McMullen, one of his better games since he came to Essendon, the former Magpie. Maynard, Lee, and he's content to race that one through for a rush behind.
One of the problems for the Crows is Kickett on that half back line. He's doing his own thing. He's picking up the ruck rovers when they're coming to rest, McDermott and Jarman, but they're not picking him up, and he's able to do, as I said, his own thing.
16 points the difference. Hughes kicks in, good long kick, plenty of Bombers at the fall of the ball. It's Smart though. Smith, who's been very quiet today, and of course with Hodges missing, they're lacking a lot up forward. Hamilton's kick beautifully smothered by Marshall, who goes for the hand pass, effective, to Tregenza. Filkey marks, might be a free kick downfield, wouldn't have mattered anyway.
And Long's hurt himself too, Peter, when he went for that.
Was his knee or shin? I think he collected him in the shin. Very painful. Filkey already kicked 1 goal this quarter.
Coming back.
That's going to be close. It's an Essendon mark. Simon Madden, last line, literally, of defence. Former Bomber captain, in excess of 300 games under his belt. Micken was the flyer over the back. O'Donnell kicks it through. Some pretty heavy traffic there at half-back. Lindsay nearly overruns the ball. Did well to get it onto Rowe. Rowe's hand pass. McDermott back to Jarman, off the side of his boot. Well, they'd hate that one down on the forward line. Easy for the defenders. Hamilton, kick it again, doing well. Danaher around Marshall, onto Manning, and they get clear.
And getting it out of defence too easily. O'Brien, Long, Scott Lee. Oh, good mark. A very good mark. Wanganeen coming across the front. Young South Australian from Port Adelaide. Now the short one is on. O'Donnell chipped in. Oh, good play by Bartlett to take that position. Then give it over to Lindsay. Lindsay, the long kick. They need Smith to mark this. He can't do so. Over the back is Danaher and Considine having a good game, as Don Scott said. On to Hamilton. Hamilton wide to Izzard. They've created the loose man here. Now Alan Izzard just slowing it down. Should kick it quickly to his forwards. It's a good looking kick. Somerville flies. Brilliant mark. Right out at half forward. Now he will kick from the scoring side of the ground.
Again, too tall for Danny Hughes. Danny in the right position, but Peter Somerville, a big man, had the sit. He's got a big leap too, Somerville.
Well, he's wearing number 19, made famous out at this ground for many years by his dad, Johnny Somerville. The late John Somerville was a very good half forward for the Bombers. There's a wobbly kick. And rolls over the line and out of bounds. But John
Somerville,
Somerville,
a beautiful kick of the football, wasn't he? Whether it be a punt, torpedo punt, or a drop kick.
He had the dark black hair
and long sleeves,
exactly the same as Peter. He was a very good player in the early 60s. Now that ball will be raced through, will it, for a behind? Yes, it is. So the Bombers move on to 8-13. The Crows remain on 6-8. Danny Hughes to bring it back into play.
Which he does again, favouring the member stand side. Oh, he's gone. Is he off, Filkey? Kicks the ball to centre wing, and under pressure has put the ball out of bounds in front of his teammate down there in Tregenza. So boundary throw in. Crows matching it with the Bombers, apart from the first 10 or so minutes of the opening quarter. Maynard and Madden, won by Madden. Ridley, attempted smothered by Jarman, not successful. And, geez, that could have almost been 50 metres, but Lee takes the mark in front of Somerville. Just up from the back pocket, Scott Lee looks for Jarman and finds him. Hasn't been his real busy self today. Lee, Maynard, slips over. Stuart Hill, he mentioned this was on with moulded sole boots, holding the ball, it is.
It's a hard rule, that one.
Anderson to O'Brien. Micken takes the mark. Somerville claiming a push. Umpire says no thanks. Bartlett. McGuinness. O'Donnell gives chase. He won't catch him. And gets plenty of distance in the kick. And kick it again, drifting across that half-back line. As Don Scott mentioned earlier, a real thorn in the side of the Adelaide Crows. 61 plays 44. Darren Buick. Shepherd by Manning. Buick kicks to half forward. And Philandia was being held there too. Micken. Untidy kick, or it bounces still in. Filkey tried to hit it out, and finally it is out of bounds. And Izzard not able to gain control. We'll see a throw in. 10.5 minutes left in the quarter.
Well, when you consider that Essendon kicked 4 goals very, very early in the game, it's been pretty even since then. And Salmon off the ground, he was playing brilliantly. There's McGuinness to Jarman. Ooh, there was a strong Shepherd on centre wing. Here's kick it again. O'Brien, they're getting it out of that back line easily, Essendon. They've got to work hard at the Crows forwards as we see O'Brien go to the half-forward line. Danny Hughes defending well. Was that a free kick for too high? Umpire calls play on. Philandia shuffles it away. Well done by Smart. Backup support from Maynard. Too slow, Maynard. That should be holding the ball.
Dropping it.
He had half an hour to get rid of that ball, and the Essendon crowd going berserk, and I agree with him.
Well, Peter Carey, the umpire on that occasion, was just in the wrong position. He could not see that he actually dropped the ball, Maynard.
Well, the bounce and half forward Somerville over the top. McGuinness in after it. Crows trying to get it going. Lindsay grabbed when he didn't have it. That'll be a free kick to Lindsay at half back.
This is suiting the Crows. If they can close the game up like in the clinches on that occasion, they'll certainly go in after the ball, and that'll suit them.
In their best quarter so far, Bruce Lindsay from centre half back. Looks for Smith, who's had a very quiet day. And Smith quiet and Hodges missing. There's not too much up forward. Madden leads in the race for it. Backup support from Considine. Jarman comes out with it. Not his free kick, though.
Free kick. Nick.
Is it going to take it?
Tell you what, I think we can get some rain after too.
Peter McKenna, meteorologist. Bickley does take the free kick. Danaher hasn't done much wrong down there today. Neither has Kickett. Onto Buick. And Essendon running the ball beautifully out of defence. Maynard. Marshall, good tackle. McDermott later.
There's a free kick to Buick. Free kick to Buick.
By bringing it back.
He was held, the umpire said, when he didn't have the ball.
Been a good quarter of football, though. Good contest. He's gone short. O'Brien. O'Brien from the right half-back flank. And goes long. Maynard.
Hold his ground then, didn't he?
Might have almost been 50. Ridley was very late on the scene. Over to Hughes. Smith the target. Couldn't mark it. O'Donnell. The tidying up worked well again. Yours partner. They all left it. Smack on by Micken. Wanganeen and Smart. Anderson. Nearly. Lindsay went in backwards. Izard. Right on 50. And right on the goal line is Maynard who takes the mark.
Well, Maynard, good pass.
I thought it was an Essendon play.
I thought it was an Essendon play.
Yes,
So did I.
I.
That's why. Filkey, I saw that black jumper. Filkey gives it back to Jarman. Oh, where's the forwards? There's Smith now. He can't hold on to it. Madden. This is just rebounding from defence to defence at the moment. O'Brien, Somerville. But both back lines killing him. Half forward.
Well, it wasn't that occasion because there he is again.
Considine, yeah.
And he's drifted off that half-back line, I should imagine.
But he'll have to kick from 52, Don, so it'll take a good drop punt. But I'm just looking to the west, and clouds very dark, so it could rain in the last quarter.
He's already kicked one, Considine. That was in the second quarter. He's been around the club a long time, and it's good to see him have a good game.
Ed Considine, normally a defender, will kick from almost right on 50. Well, it's a high float. It won't make the distance. Can someone take a big mark? Yes. Good mark to Bartlett.
Bartlett in the goal square. Kick straight up the ground. He's looking for Smart. He's outnumbered. Oh, great leap. Couldn't bring it down. Manning. He was having a little bit of a push and shove match with Marshall before. O'Brien for Essendon's first goal of the quarter. They badly need one, and he's got it. O'Brien's first. It took the Bombers a long time to get their ninth goal. 9-13-67, leading Adelaide 6-8-44 at Windy Hill.
Well, he's a class player. I remember his first game up in Sydney. He was tackled by Gerard Healy and really buried into the girth. And this was a class goal. Manning involved, got the ball across. And a very impressive one by O'Brien.
Well, the Bombers lead by 3-5 after that goal by O'Brien. Craig O'Brien, only a youngster. 9-13 to 6-8. 6.5 minutes of play left in the third quarter. A vital 6.5 minutes as far as the Crows are concerned. A hurried kick down to the forward line. Is it a mark? No. Here's a chance for Rowe. Kicks on the left foot, dragged off the ball as he kicked and has put it out of bounds. So another opportunity goes Biggie. Good tackle though. Was a good tackle. There's Rowe, who's been a good player, Stephen Rowe. And Manning and Marshall some pushing and shoving behind the plate. They need a couple of quick goals. Here's McIntyre. O'Brien. Marshall dives. Jarman. Smith. Smith up in the air. Danaher lurks at the back to punch it. Does so. It's a loose ball to Klug. Will it sit for him? Now it does. Oh! Is that a free kick? No. Tregenza sets itself up and puts it out of bounds on the full.
He's very quick in reaction, isn't he, Clegg? He looks slow, but he always manages to get it away. He's really set up by Long on that occasion. It looked worse probably than what it actually was.
I thought he was going to get cleaned up there.
So did I, but he just got out of the road.
Darren Buick, who's been busy around the ground today. Kick number 10 from the left back pocket. Beautiful torpedo punt. Madden's the target. Couldn't take the grab. Tregenza, a short kick. O'Donnell hacks it from mid-air. Lindsay almost applies the tackle on Philandia. Essendon free kick. Anderson. Not his best kick. Ridley. Two hands, couldn't mark it. Lee. Micken. And Danny Hughes was waiting for it to come to him. Philandia, busy, right on 50. I have to call that a good pass, but it was an ugly looking kick off the boot.
Just happened to be in the right place, Ed Considine.
Well,
I just wonder where he is playing, Peter.
He's covered a lot of ground, Don.
Oh, word he has. This is his second shot for goal. Maybe they've made the switch.
He's already kicked one goal. A tidy looking kick, but Considine there will put it down as a good pass. Considine for his second. And Essendon's second goal of the quarter. Took a long time to get there first before O'Brien threaded it. He's 25 metres out and has missed. One behind. So only one goal for the quarter so far. And we've seen her before, that lady.
Oh, those two lovely ladies, they've been there for donkey's years, supporting the Bombers. There's the kick right after the half-back line. Bartlett, beautiful pass it was. Now Bartlett, that's a good long kick too, a 65-metre kick. Klug and Smith, well done by Klug. Now a chance, will it sit for him? No. Filkey, who charged after O'Brien, doing well. Got the lucky bounce, and O'Brien kicks wide. Tregenza sets himself. He's got two to beat here, Tregenza, and he does it. Well, here's Madden. Back it comes to Tregenza. A hurried kick. Jarman waits underneath it. Can't take the mark. O'Brien taps it on. Kick it. And Long caught. Gets in a hand pass. Buick. Oh, there's Crows players everywhere. Filkey's got an open goal. 45 metres out. In he comes. Kicks. And Danaher marks right on the line. And, well, Don Scott, don't you ever tell me full forwards aren't important.
I was just looking at the emergency umpire running up and down on the spot. Couldn't get his jacket off quick enough. Buick and Jarman were into it.
They certainly were. Marshall's kick is a high one. Will land about 20 metres out from goal. Smith punches the ball away, but kick it again. Any loose ball on the half-back line, he's grabbed it. Manning. Izard. Just off the edge of the square. The Bombers' smaller players cutting them to ribbons again.
Free kick, surely.
No, not played. Somerville in front. Philandia shoots at goal, off target. And all clear, one behind.
Well, that's something the umpires have really got to look at. This handling and actual holding and man-handling of players when the ball is coming for a mark. And Bartlett really did hold on to Somerville on that occasion.
2.5 minutes left as Hughes kicks in. Marshall dragged off the ball by Simon Madden, and he'll get a free kick. That's to the Lloyds.
I reckon that decision was wrong because he was in control of the ball, Marshall.
Marshall from right centre wing. Kick number 12. Madden again. Kicks to the edge of the square. Wangadine reads it beautifully in front of Lee. Considine must be at half forward. Hughes. It's a good bounce. Not a long kick, but effective. Smart. Dummies well. Filkey at left half forward. Has gold so far today. That's a good long kick. Will land just about in the square. McIntyre should have marked it, and it's rushed through.
At least McIntyre's now in the goal square, Peter, and the ball's coming up there. They can bring it to ground, and now they've got to get the little fellows coming underneath him.
Well, they've had a million opportunities up there to score goals. Izard. No, it'll have to come back. But really, those guys coming down the ground must be wishing someone could come out fast and lead, as Dunstall would do, or Hodges. But they haven't got them. Now, here's a chance. Rowe has been impressive. One, well done by Kicker. They just put the pressure on and force the kick out of bounds, so it'll be a penalty kick to Derek Kickett.
14 hand passes he's had today and 7 kicks. He's done well, Kickett.
He's playing that back line like a forward. I mean, he's not really worrying about his opponent. He's going after kicks and he's certainly getting them and then setting his teammates up in a better position.
He's held out the Crows, although look at that torpedo punt kick to the centre wing. Some of them went early. Good mark to Micken. And Micken's showing a little bit of form today.
Well, he's doing well on the centre bounces too in this quarter.
Micken, they need a goal. There's Kickett again. Oh, nearly took it too. Socket off the ground by Izard.
He's hurt his ankle too, Kickett.
Well, here's McGuinness. Clever hand pass. Lindsay back to McGuinness. He'll run and kick from 55 metres. Hooks it back in front of goal. Danaher at the back. This is too easy down there. A good mark to Danaher.
Calf muscle, is it? He's hurt something anyway.
Remember Mays haven't made a move down there.
But at least he's starting in the right place now. It's a goal square.
Statuesque before the line, I think is the best way to put it. Marshall kicks across goal. And there's the siren to win the third quarter. With the score, Essendon 9-15. They only kicked 1 goal. 1 goal 6 in that quarter, actually. 9-15-69. Adelaide 6-9-45. Still 24 points the difference, and basically that's been the mean difference between the sides since about halfway through the third quarter, or first quarter I should say. Essendon kicking 1-6 in the term and Adelaide outscoring them 2-2. Three-quarter time at the other matches today. We've got 4 games being played. Down at Moorabbin, it looks as though it's a thriller. It is a thriller. 10-14 to 11-9 in front of a capacity crowd. Richmond and the Sydney Swans, very high scoring game this. The Sydney Swans in front at the moment, 110 to 96. Fitzroy and Footscray 74-67. Anybody's game this one, and I understand there Michael Gale of Fitzroy has been stretchered from the ground in the third quarter. And that at VFL Park, another thriller, 82-96 in favour of Carlton. Milhana for the Blues has 8 goals. Gerard Healy, what did the coaches say?
Well, Graham Corns praised his players for their improved commitment and the improved work rate. He was disappointed, however, in the overall result, as there was nothing to show for it on the scoreboard. And he asked for his forwards to have a big lift. He urged his players to be positive and to continue to run, because there's still a chance. Kevin Sheedy, on the other hand, tore into his players, who he thought relaxed a little bit. He emphasised they still had a fight on their hands, and there was a need for a big lift all over the ground.
OK, thanks, Gerard. We'll take a break and be back with the action from the final quarter. The Bombers leading by 4 goals at Windy Hill. Welcome back to Windy Hill. Don Scott looks at the statistics at three-quarter time.
Well, the amazing one there is a centre brace. Look at that, 12 to Essendon, 4 to Adelaide, and that is the big difference in the side. Although I thought that they started to get going a little bit in that the third quarter. Micken was starting to get his hands on the ball at the bounce downs, and they got it 1 and 2 out in Adelaide.
Final quarter just about to get underway from Windy Hill. 24 points the difference in the match of the day. The Crows trailed by 21 points at the first change, 26 at half-time, and they outscored Essendon during the third quarter. Darren Buick gets the hand pass away, and the Bombers already into attack up towards their right half-forward flank, but not for very long as Danny Hughes takes the mark.
And Buick's injured too.
Kicks to centre field.
It's his knee, Buick's knee.
McDermott, kick it. Has been brilliant today. That's his 15th hand pass for Landia. Manning. Madden taps on and gets it again, the veteran. From inside the square. Kicks down to the forward pocket and Ridley. And Darren Buick limps off the ground. He'll be replaced by Kransberg.
And Ridley too quick for Hughes on that occasion. Just a little break, and it was all he required. He started about a yard in front of Hughes, and Hughes just couldn't get it, and he made it about 5 yards by the time he'd taken that ball.
Well, within kicking distance, Ridley. Low trajectory kick, and it looks as though it's a mark to the Bears. He used to play for the Bears, Mark Micken, former captain of the side, actually. He'll have to go back and kick over the mark.
Growing in confidence, Micken.
Bruce Reid works on the knee of Darren Buick. Kicks to the member stand side. There's Micken. Smart has it knocked away. Ridley. O'Brien. Kick number 23. And kick number 23 is a goal. That's what Essendon needed to start the last quarter. Second goal for O'Brien. Essendon's 10th. 10-15 to 6-9.
He started the game well, actually, O'Brien. May have been a little quiet in the second quarter. The third quarter, good. That was a good start. I was impressed with what Ridley did here. Watch this. There, he spotted players out in front, and he broke away from McGuinness O'Brien. That was a good effort. An ugly kick off the boot, but nonetheless straight.
Difficult for the Crows now. Madden forces it forward. So does Anderson. This is Considine. Oh, Madden's running around like a 2-year-old. Simon Madden to the forward line. The ball hits the deck. Lindsay shuffles it out. Jarman, Tregenza. And there's the big ruckman having another kick, Micken. Oh, they went without the ball again. They've got really
a dirty day today, Smith, the centre forward.
The whole forward line has, as we see, Flood. O'Brien, who's had a great day. Well done, Filkey, but he's got no backup support. There were 3 Essendon players. One of them was Anderson, who now brings it to the half-forward line. And Micken has taken another good mark.
Just too big for Landia.
Well, Micken's really shown something.
The second half.
Has he ever? Well, he started on the bench and Klug. Good mark. Oh, the umpire hasn't paid it. O'Brien loses it in the tackle.
That should have been dropping the ball.
Still lying on top of it, and the umpire allows him to get away with that. It'll be a throw-in. I thought there should have been a mark to Klug. Well, what's the report on the injury down there to Darren Buick, Jared Healy?
Yeah, well, Buick's had his knee tested by both the physio and the doctor here, his right knee, and it appears he's got a strained medial ligament. They're just applying the ice now, and they've also tested the anterior cruciate. It doesn't look too good for young Buick.
Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed there. They're still working on it. A bounce on centre wing. And the Crows need some goals quickly if they're to get back into the match. Izzard to Anderson. Onto Manning. Centering kick. Somerville was calling for it. It's gone over his head. Fransberg lands rather awkwardly. The hand pass comes out to Danny Hughes from Bickley. Long running with the flight of the ball. Didn't take the mark, but did well. Smart. Oh, not a long kick at all. Only travels about 35 metres. McMullen gets the front posse. Backup support from Danaher. Essendon playing well as a team today. And towards midfield. Micken again. Jarman. And Essendon come away with the ball, but it might be an Adelaide free kick for holding the man.
That was a fairly rugged tackle by Madden, but I didn't think it warranted a free kick against him, but it's going to McGuinness.
One of his quieter days too. Did better in the third term. And perhaps not coincidentally, that was Adelaide's best quarter of the match so far. Marshall, who kicked their first goal today.
All the backs have got their... Well, the forwards have got their backs to Marshall.
He ignores the lead. Haven't been too many leads down there today. Ball curling back. And off the hands of the pack, one behind. Rush to the Adelaide Crows. 20.5 minutes left in this match. Still time if they're good enough, but that is the question. 10-15 to 6-10. A difference of 29 points as Anthony Danaher once again will bring the ball back in.
Now Smith's gone up onto the half forward line, and Smart now up on the back line for Adelaide.
And little O'Brien's in absolutely everything. Madden off the ground and it beats the Crows players over the line, and they applaud their champion ruckman. His clever bit of play. But really the difference in this game has been Essendon have looked far more dangerous when they go forward. Well done by McGuinness. Rowe to half forward, no one there for the Crows, and McMullen, easy as you like, takes it out of defence with a booming kick. Smith sets himself for it. Scott Lee backs him up. The kick is round the corner. Now the bounce will favour McDermott, has a very quiet day, but that was good play by McDermott to tap it out. Still in after it is McDermott. Loose man, oh, he can't get away with it. Marshall, beautiful hand pass eventually to Tony McGuinness. Now he sets it up for a big mark. Negri at the free kick. Free kick to Anthony Danaher. And far too good.
And Kicker's going off the ground, and also injured is Craig O'Brien, but he got up and he got going again, O'Brien, but he's still got a bit of a limp, but Kickett is definitely going off the ground. Now what are they going to do? Buick is going to come back on.
Well, what about that? Darren Buick, well, he's injured. He's hobbling on. He can't move. Well, this will be Kevin Sheed will be calling for those 3 or 4 interchanges again, because Buick's on the ground and can hardly run. Anderson to full forward. Ridley in front. The ball hits the deck. Players in after it. That was Smith. On to Maynard. Jarman. But O'Donnell goes back to take the mark.
O'Donnell at centre field. Kicks to half forward and Michael Long. Tregenza stands the mark. And Ridley, not a mark. Hughes. Well, they're consistent. We'll give them that. Tregenza offloaded as he kicked past Bickley, picked up by Rowe. Bickley calling for it. And he decides to ignore him. Spears the pass in further downfield to Klug. Over the top, back to Bickley. He kicks from 55 metres out. Good long kick into the square. Guess who? Danaher again. Considine with Smart. Smart pressuring him and grabbed him. Did he have the ball? No, says the umpire. Essendon free kick.
Good effort by Hamilton. He's one of those dogged defenders. He usually gets the opposition's best forward, and there's Buick, as we saw on screen, still limping.
Considine from the right half-back flank. Under 18 minutes left in this match. Tries for Madden. Madden in front. Micken with the spoil. And then a little toe poke off the ground. The ball shuffled out the back. Filkey gets there first. A hand pass in hope more than anything else. Philandia runs into trouble right on the interchange bench, and it will be thrown in.
Quite an interesting exchange there, because Rowe ran in hard on Anderson, and Anderson just leave it out. We go down to Gerard Healy for a report on Kickett.
Yeah, well, they've tested Kickett's left knee also, and I think he's probably in better condition than Buick, so I wouldn't be surprised to see those two interchange again.
Here's the attrition rate pretty high. Might be a Pyrrhic victory for Essendon. Lee, McDermott. A beautiful kick by the skipper up towards the forward pocket. Negri, and he was off the ground in the third quarter, battling with Danaher, who touched the ball through or out of bounds. Out of bounds it is. So it will be throw in.
Well, why doesn't the umpire pay deliberate? Because he was going to the line.
That's dead right, Don.
You've got to be consistent. Maybe they've been a little they're laxing up on that rule now.
Negri and Danaher. Klug over the top with Considine. O'Donnell hacks it out of the pack. McDermott again. Long. Manning. High kick. Oh, Somerville. Great grab. Under Izzard. The kicker coming back on and Buick off. Smith. Don Scott mentioned earlier, a dirty day from him. Tregenza. One of Adelaide's better players. McGuinness has had a quiet day though. Wanganeen nearly had his head taken off, and he should get the free kick and will. Young ex-South Australian, probably still calls himself a South Aussie. Only 17 years of age. Wanganeen from left centre wing. Micken at the back, couldn't mark. Rowe, and he's been a trier all day too for the Crows. Certainly not their worst player by any stretch of the imagination, but Smith.
Oh, no!
Play on, says the umpire. Long. Manning. Anderson. Good tackle by Filkey. Anderson again. Made something out of nothing there. And that's a great mark. Backing into the pack. And young O'Brien really has covered himself in glory.
Oh, he's played a sensational game, Craig O'Brien, I reckon. Tremendous game. Look at this.
He's more or less shoved into that ball, I suppose, but it was a good mark. Now, he was injured just prior to Kickett going off the ground.
So Craig O'Brien for his third goal. It's close. Not close enough, and one behind. So scoreboard at Windy Hill, 10-16 to 6-10, low-scoring game, 30 points the difference. They were a pretty fair lead at this stage of proceedings.
Well, that's interesting. Up the other end, they've got Smart, Nigel Smart up in the goal square. Now, if I was Graham Corns, I reckon 2 quarters ago, I would have got all the big men away from the goal square and put a little bloke there and just said lead the whole time, because that's the only area they've really fallen down, as we see Filkey, the centre wing. McMullen will let this one go over the line, I would think. And they now got the Crows, Nigel Smart playing up in the goal square with Negri, because he was being thrashed. There's Kevin Sheedy. There's Anthony Danaher, one of the best fullbacks in the competition, of course, if not the best at the moment. Manning. Anderson. Good early, and then it's been fairly quiet since. Considine. Beckett comes to half-forward. This is Long. What will he do here? Michael Long. Oh, brilliant play by Michael Long. On to Ridley. Ridley fires and out of bounds on the full, but great play by Long.
Exciting stuff, Long. Just about to put it into overdrive.
Lindsay about to bring the ball back into play. A massive Essendon supporters are red and black. 7-3. Hasn't had a great day, Bruce Lindsay. Tap down, that was well done to O'Brien from Madden. Now on to Somerville. Somerville brings it up in front of goal. No markers, it's thumped to the ground. Crows players soccer it off the ground. This is McGuinness. Oh, he's in trouble, but gets in a hand pass, and back it comes to you. Guess who? Craig O'Brien hooks across the face, and the mark has been taken by Smith.
Smith goes for distance with his kick to the outer side. Long, the flyer. Couldn't take it. Maynard, McDermott. And on the burst is Tregenza. Kicks up to full forward where they've been breaking down repeatedly all day. And this time it's McMullen's turn to kick Essendon out of danger. McDermott kicks it back again. Bigger pack this time. Marking contest, none paid. Jarman kicks into the pack. So he'll get another chance, but he gets ridden into the ground. Is that a free kick? Umpire says play on. Well, hacked out of the pack again. Still 50 metres from the Crows' goal. And there's not much run left in the Adelaide combination at the moment. There's the ball kicked up by Manning to half ball. Somerville, like a store gift winner, on the run, kicks and goals. Great stuff, Bombers, 4 points. And Dad would have been proud of that, Pete. You were talking about him early. 11-16-82 to 6-10-46.
Well, I wonder whether Somerville infringed here. Now here is being set up. It was good play by O'Brien to allow Manning to come through. But look at the push. See on Bartlett. And when he did that push, it was all by himself. Nonetheless, it was a good kick from the big fellow.
Well, he did give a little push out. It was probably in the side, not so much in the back, and just put his opponent out of the contest. But it was great play after that when he sprinted away and slammed it through for a goal. There's Manning kicking it in mid-air. Lindsay versus Philandia. Philandia went without it. Now he's got it. Well played, little Peter Philandia. Around the corner he goes with the left foot kick. And a little bit ordinary by a couple of Crows players. Didn't put much pressure on O'Brien then. He took that very easily. O'Brien, look at that, 25 kicks. And he's hit 10 handballs. Gee, what a day he's had, and 2 goals. Now, I'll bring the house down if he kicks this one, but it'll land up in the goal square. The high flyers are there. The ball hits the deck. Maynard, off the ground, Wangadeen, touched. So it's 1 point. So Essendon. Doesn't he look a youngster?
He is.
Well, he's 17, getting on towards 18, but I think he'll be a good player in the future. Danny Hughes to bring it back into play, 11-17 to 6-10.
Rowe, one of Adelaide's better contributors today, 16 and 7, his stats. So that's not a bad afternoon's work. O'Donnell got a couple of hands to it. McMullen kicks it back towards left half forward. And that's a mark. There he is, the youngster. Plays on O'Donnell. Somerville again.
Well, he had to sit Somerville, didn't he, on that occasion? There was nothing really Bartlett could do. He was going with the flight of the ball, and Bartlett just couldn't get there. And we watch this, eyes on the ball. Bartlett, although pushing, realised he just didn't have a hope of getting there.
Somerville for his second. Kick number 14.
11 marks, Pete.
That one's out into the street. 2 goals to Somerville. The game safe for Essendon if it wasn't before. 12-17, 89 to 6-10-46.
3 goals last week, Peter Somerville. He's kicked 2 in this the last quarter. Started that centre half forward. He played that position last week, then was forced into the ruck with Salmon going off the ground. Now playing back at centre half forward with Madden on the ball. A player that has been around for a while too.
Essendon well on top now, 12-17 to 6-10. And in general play around the ground, it really hasn't been as decisive as that, but they've put the score on the board. The Bombers, O'Donnell for half forward, Somerville. Oh, he did that very, very well, Peter Somerville. He's got a loose man out there. Can he mark it? No, he can't. There was O'Brien. Oh, it's his day. Got backup support from Philandia. Back to O'Brien. O'Brien will hook it back in front of goal. And will it be a mark? Yes, it is a mark for Manning. Oh, some happy Bomber supporters. Andrew Manning, a late replacement for Mark Thompson.
And there he is, that quick boot. But this is the advantage of playing in front, because when there is a missed kick, as it was on that occasion, you take the reward. You're not caught behind, you're in front. The ball's going to drop. And McIntyre is coming back on. Negri off for Adelaide as Manning lines up for his first shot at goal.
Andrew Manning, former St Kilda player, kicks a little bit to the right. And he has missed. Not happy with himself, but the game well and truly won by Essendon. There's still 9.5 minutes to go, but take a minor miracle, a major miracle.
Major, I think, Peter.
I'd say major. Denny Hughes has worked pretty hard. I reckon he's played well, Denny Hughes. To the half-back line, but the tall timber of Essendon there again. This time it's Madden. Simon Madden. He's looking for the short one. Now, will someone lead to a space, or will he kick it long down there to Somerville? Now the short one, there it is. The lead is on. Somerville used his body well. Scott Lee gets in a hand pass. Filkey. Denny Hughes. Marshall caught by Manning, loses it in the tackle. Good umpiring to let it go. Finlandia tapped out. Now, is that holding the ball? No. Chris Mitchell had a good look at it and has elected the bounce.
It might have been a trifle lucky. Under 9 minutes left in this match. The Crows goalless so far in the final term. Only kicked one behind after a good third quarter in which they outscored Essendon. Thought they had a chance at three-quarter time. Long, dispossessed. So too is Ridley. Ball spills free. Fruki had a chance likewise. Wanganeen. A high but short kick into the forward pocket. Maynard. Kicker can't catch him, logically, because he's injured. O'Donnell. A mark, yes, no. Play on. And the ball beating him. And also McGuinness over the line. Tregenza was there likewise. 8.25 minutes left in the game. And the throw to take place in front of the small scoreboard. Adelaide have broken down repeatedly up forward today. Micken. Rowe from McDermott. And that's out of bounds again. So they've gained about 20 metres. First visit to Windy Hill. Not a happy bench there. And again, other teams have found the same thing here for years. Filkey. Very hard to win on this small ground. Considine. Hurried hand pass when tackled. Danaher. McDermott. From right on the boundary line. Smart. Had it knocked away from him. McMullen. Off the ground. Goes for the boundary line on the other side of the ground. And it's still in play. Ball bounces back. Now it's out of bounds. It stopped right on the line. So a boundary throw in. 50 metres out from the Adelaide goal. 24 points behind at three-quarter time, but it's been a good final quarter by Essendon. They haven't scored too many goals. McMullen. Pretty untidy affair down there. No one can get out of that pack. Marshall tries without any luck. Considine looking for the free kick. There is none, and it's going to be a bounce.
7 goals the margin. In fact, 7 goals 2. So a good performance by the Bombers. And Salmon was dominating the game early and he went off through injury. Abernathy, of course, he was playing well, went off for the Crows, so he was a loss. That's Ridley. Centre of the ground. He's had a bad day, Smith. Anderson, 1 bounce. Will he have another one? Yes, 2 bounces. 55 metres, Anderson. Will it bounce through? No. The wrong side. Typical left footer.
It just didn't get onto that. Maybe he was moving a bit too quick.
Well, it does look exciting when a left footer comes down the ground like that, but he couldn't finish it off. Here's Scott Lee receiving from Hughes. Lee up to the centre wing area. Mark to McIntyre. Oh, lifted the elbow then. You've got to watch that. But Lee trying to give a short one into Filkey. Just short of him. Now on to Smith. Smith, no one there helping him. Allows Long to get in a quick hand pass to O'Donnell. O'Donnell to the half-forward line. And Cransberg races after it. Is that out of bounds? No, it's still in play. Considine. Considine from 60 metres. Somerville. Oh, I couldn't grab it. I thought he had his name written all over that. Lindsay. Rebound. Sand kicks Long to centre wing. And over the back is Flood. Flood gets it onto O'Donnell. O'Donnell to Finlandia. Micken taps it to ground. Bickley. McGuinness. He's caught. Rowe. Good tackle. He's caught. Play on, says the umpire now. As O'Brien having a magnificent day. Gives it to Finlandia. He ran past it. Tapped on by Lindsay. back to McGuinness, and the Crows get away through Bickley.
Bickley's hand pass taken by Rowe on the left centre wing. Looking for options on the half-forward line. Klug takes a good mark. But they've been beaten pointless up there, as is indicated by the scoreboard. Only kicked 6 goals and only 1 behind so far in the last quarter. Spiral punt kick. And so why did he do that? But of course there's nobody up there anyway, Peter.
I reckon that is just dreadful football.
So out of bounds on the full. And it will be Hamilton to take the free kick. 4.5 minutes left in this game. Useful contributor today. Kick number 10 for him from the right back pocket. Somerville the target, got edged out of it. Bartlett's come down with the ball. Centering kick by him, and he's found the skipper, so that won't lose him any points. McDermott probably too far out to score. 16 possessions. Kick number 6. And tried for the spiral punt. Torpedo didn't quite work. Smart was the flyer. Is that holding the ball? It is, yes.
At least they're consistent, the umpires. I don't agree with the rule, but at least they're consistent.
Flood. Wanganeen. Michael Long's number from last year. Long going for number 13 this year. Somerville. He's had a great last quarter, hasn't he? A couple of goals. 1 on the run. A couple of nice marks. Lee underneath the ball. Anderson. Well tackled. Transberg battling for it. Filkey gets leg. No free kick. The Crows through Lee. After it came from Rowe, and Smart takes the mark in front of goal about 35 to 40 metres out.
Well, the umpire was going to pay a free kick to Filkey, realised that the Crows were in possession and paid advantage. So on that occasion, it was good umpiring by Petty Carey.
And they get their first goal of the last quarter. With that kick, we'll have to wait on the goal umpire. 1 behind.
Typical backman, Pete.
Well, yes, but look at the scoreboard. 6-11. And only 2 points for this quarter, under 3 minutes left in the game.
Yes, at least he led for that ball and had the right idea coming up the middle of the ground, and that looked a bit of forward thrust. Bickley. Klug sets himself, and McDermott. Now, is that a mark to Flood? The umpire said it was, so 2 bites of it. David Flood. Kicks to the outer side of the ground, a 1-on-1 contact, or push out by Rowe, and I don't know, I thought he was going to give one of those gridiron throws then. Hamilton to the half-forward line, all the big tall players are there, and the little fella Philandia over the back, dragged down, free kick to Peter Philandia, back at half-forward.
But there's no better tonic, Peter, is there, than a free kick, and he'll get to his feet. He's got a chance to kick a goal. We'll see it on replay. Taken pretty high. Philandia.
Well, there's no doubt about the free kick.
He's already kicked 1.
He did that well.
Actually, he might got that mouse under the eye on that occasion.
I think you could be right.
The old mouse.
It's more like a rat, that one.
I think you gave plenty of those in your time, Don. But Philandia will kick. Peter Philandia for his second from about 40 metres, has hooked it slightly and has missed to the left, and some happy Bomber supporters behind there. But he read that well at the back of the pack. He knew his big players were going for the mark. Now there's Michael Taylor, former Collingwood star. To the half-back line, Maynard's had a very quiet day. Marshall is dispossessed. Smith looked a little bit better in defence. Here's Lee. Now, this is a much better forward thrust. Rowe. McIntyre. The short one. Smart leading out well. Traps it. Then went without it. Now he's got it. Smart. Caught. Loses it. And it'll be a throw-in.
This has been over the line because I thought he dropped that ball.
Looks like he's been moving around down there, Peter, hasn't he? Which is something that hasn't been the norm today. Madden and Micken, the 2 M's do battle. Jarman over the top of it. O'Donnell does well. Kicks to the open spaces on the member stand wing. And Maynard should get there first for the Crows. He does. Not too much support for him though. In fact, none whatsoever. Anderson takes it away. Anderson Pass is effective. Somerville, and I said before, and I'll say it again, a good last quarter, the big fella. So a lot of useful work on the forward line. And looks tireless. Looks for McMullen, couldn't find him. For Landia again. Tries for the hand pass to McMullen, that's effective. Under Considine. Kick it. Who, as we know, can't run after injuring, it appeared to be an ankle. Looks very proppy, so Kevin Sheedy would be worried about the injury rate here today. Watson, of course, and Thompson sitting the bench. Salmon left the ground at the first quarter.
Buick.
He's a bit proppy as well, isn't he? Somerville over the top. There's the siren. Essendon convincing winners over the Adelaide Crows. 12-20, 92 the final scoreboard. And the Crows didn't go in the last quarter. 6-11, 47. So I think that they will remember their first trip to Windy Hill. They got off to a bad start and really they couldn't get back on the rails, Dom.
No, they couldn't, Peter. And well, it might be just a case of this travelling team syndrome. Doesn't only happen in football, it happens in a lot of other sports. Although they did well last week up in Sydney. They started, I thought, enthusiastically, but Peter, they just couldn't go on with it. Essendon really did follow up, and by the 16-minute mark of the first quarter, Essendon were well in control, and they just went on with it.
So the final score showing a 45-point victory to Essendon, 12 goals, 20-92, defeating Adelaide 6-11-47 in our match of the day from Windy Hill. Well, the Bombers coming away in the final term, kicking 3 goals, 5-2 behinds to run out winners by 45 points. Major goal kickers for Essendon, 2 each to Buick, O'Brien, Somerville and Madden. And for the Adelaide Crows, Klug was the major contributor there with 2 goals. So pretty convincing win in the end for Essendon. They're always hard to beat out here at Windy Hill, as you two gentlemen, I'm sure, would recall.
Well, I felt in general play, really, the Crows weren't disgraced from one end of
general play.
In general play, but once it got to the forward lines, completely different set of circumstances. I thought the Crows back line did well, but once it got up there, forward line, they had no one moving, no one leading to a space, Don, and that was the difference in the sides. The Essendon looked far more dangerous up forward.
Well, I did have a few good players, I thought, the Crows. One player that tried all day, and I'm a bit of a rap for him, is Bruce Lindsay on that half-back line, and he doesn't receive many plaudits, but he certainly does try really hard. And as you said, Peter, fellows had dirty days. I think the dirtiest day was that of Darren Smith, but he wasn't alone in the way he went about it. I thought Filkey tried hard, maybe Rowe, but gee, it was hard to find good. But Micken had a better second half.
But some of the Essendon players, that young Craig O'Brien, I've never seen him play a game like that. He was great. Somerville took a number of marks. The stats should favour Essendon, Don.
Yes, the centre breaks, Peter. I think it was 12-4 at three-quarter time. And it's 14-5, so Essendon really got the break. But I've given Micken a rap because I thought he did well at the centre bounces after half-time.
All right, there it is, gentlemen. A convincing win to Essendon. As I said, always hard to beat here at Windy Hill, and the Bombers in pretty good early season form after many had written them off. There's a thrilling game down at Moorabbin between St Kilda and Collingwood, and we'll be going there after the break.
His name is Simon Williamson, 7 years old, and he lives at 39 Senegal Drive, Pimlico. With that, Lee Tunnel collecting at the Graham and Scott Factory is situated between the Reynolds and Bird Great Town. Mr. Williams will be the Tunnel collector of St Simon of 3 Gully Drive, Pimlico. He is in the Graham and Scott between the Reynolds and Bird Great Town. Thank you.
Welcome back to AFL Live from Windy Hill. We're going down to Moorabbin now. A capacity-crowded attendance for the clash between St Kilda and Collingwood. We're going to take you to the last quarter of the game now. It's 5 points the difference. St Kilda's leading with approximately 5 minutes to go. Our commentators are Bruce McAvady and Ian Robertson.
Drop punt.
Morris the target. Daniels the front. Going to pay the mark to Daniels. Bit lucky. So St Kilda from... It'll be Daniels, I think, or maybe... Well, better for St Kilda if it's Morris. But I thought Daniels in the front had the footy.
It was a bit of a raffle, wasn't it?
Now, Morris from centre wing. A high one. Up towards the 30-metre zone. Kitschke and Lowe there. Coughlin, can he kick a miraculous goal? They've been hard from here all day. Across the face, Rice outnumbered. A bouncing ball. Shaw able to get rid of him and did it beautifully in again to Banks. Banks to the open space. Wilson. Starcevic. McAdam and Starcevic still in play. Starcevic with a handball. Anderson, who had a brilliant start. Will it set up for the little fellow? Smallest man on the ground. The handball had no power at all. Muller gives it up. Harvey. Muller. Collingwood with the numbers now. Anderson forces it forward. Harvey with him. It's a real slog. It's like in the trenches here. Shaw gives it back to Krasiska, and Krasiska goes to half forward.
Half forward, the bouncing ball. Now, can it elude? No, strength. Look at Mullane. Crash. And look at Burke. Oh, terrific stuff by Nathan Burke. Tell you what, he's a great little goer, that bloke. Number 29, you write him down in your little black book. We've got 3 minutes left. It's a very, very tight finish here at Moorabbin. Shaw can't get his foot to the ball. Frawley. Now St Kilda through Harding. Left foot kick goes back into the centre. This is a big contest. Morwood marks. Very important contest. A little too tall for Wilson. Must move the ball quickly. He does eventually to half forward. Chipping in. Oh, Harvey nearly took it. It would have been a good mark going with the flight of the ball. He's still got possession of it. Underneath the pack is Brown, and the umpire will bounce only 40 metres from Collingwood's goal. Well, what a finish, Bruce. It's been a terrific game from the start. Very tight and hard, and both players, or players of both sides, giving their all.
Just 5 points in it, Manson and Harding. And Shane Harris waits till they sort themselves out. Manson with a quick tap. Coughlin, Anderson, Harding tries to force his way out. Turner gets it forward. Francis to kick the goal. Collingwood in front by a point, 13-16, 13-15.
Well, it's amazing, isn't it? You fight and fight and fight and strive as hard as you possibly can for what we would classify as, 118 minutes if a game goes for 120. And in the last 2 minutes, the opposition get a goal to put themselves 1 point in front, and it could be snatched away from you. Free kick going to St Kilda. Too many Collingwood players in the square. They've got a chance. Harding goes wide, getting underneath it. Newport taps it on. Kitschke's caught. Can't get the hand pass away. A struggle at half forward for Taylor. 1 against 3, and the ball goes over just inside St Kilda's 50-metre line.
Gee, what a mistake by Collingwood at this time of the match.
A bad one. And obviously losing just a little bit of concentration. 1 3/4 minutes left. Morris gets the tap out. It goes up towards the St Kilda goal, but Collingwood get back. Opportunity for Craven. Barwick fiddles with the football. It's close to the line. Lowe there. Flips it out the back way. Barwick takes it over. And Lowe tries to con the boundary umpire.
Gee, if they can rush a point here, Robbo, it'll be a drawn situation. They've got to try and thump it through with a minute and a half remaining. Monkhorst at the back, Morwood, Craven snatched it off him, still Craven, and a marvellous smother by Collingwood there. So just 1 point in it, 13-15 to 13-16.
Well, St Kilda shouldn't lose, really. Couldn't they get a point out of this somehow and maybe a goal?
Well, it's been a day for brave men. Will there be a hero here? McEwen definitely deliberate, but not paid. That would have been a brave umpire to make that decision. Maybe a popular one. 53 seconds remaining. Robbo made the comment half hour ago that the good teams win the close games. Which one will it be? Morwood. Craven wants a free kick, doesn't get it. Collingwood with persistence. Morwood. Kitschke keeps it in the area. Harvey. Newport. Quick kick. Chance here for the Saints. No mark. Banks caught. Harvey. Surely a goal or a point. Harvey to kick it. And he has
missed.
This level
It's level with 24 seconds, 23-22 remaining, 13-16 apiece, and the clock ticks away. Robbo, it should be a draw.
And I think it'll be a fair result, Bruce. I don't think either side really deserve to lose. I've seen some great contests, physical, and this has been one of the best.
Barwick to half-back. Morris, there's still time. To the pocket. Can the Saints get something out of it? Out of play, and that should be it with 6 seconds remaining. It ticks away. It'll be a draw. It'll be a tie at Moorabbin, and there it goes. 13-16 apiece, and the two teams have fought for 2 hours together. Rarely has there been anything in the game. It's been one of the classics, Robbo, and it's finished line ball just as they started 2 hours ago.
And yes, we're still on the edge of our seats here at Moorabbin. What a thriller it was. 13-16 apiece. A drawn game between St Kilda and Collingwood. And Ian Robertson at various times during the match. The Saints took control, then Collingwood. And as you said in the call, a fitting result.
Yes, I suppose it's a bit of an empty feeling to a certain extent, Bruce, because they both strive all day long to win the match. But in the finish, I think 2 points each was probably a bonus. Either side would have been very, very stiff to lose. I mean, Peter Dacos had a chance down here. Tony Francis eventually kicked a magnificent snapshot to get the lead for Collingwood. And then at the other end in the dying seconds, Robert Harvey running into an open goal. You would have nearly written that down as a goal, and he missed to level the scores. So there's plenty of times where both sides will look back and say this mistake cost them here and that mistake cost them there. But it certainly was, in the finish, a fitting result.
13-16 apiece at Moorabbin, so the spoils are shared here between the Saints and Collingwood, a game that had a tremendous build-up and lived right up to that build-up throughout the week.
Right, thank you, Bruce, and thank you, Robbo. I wonder how that affects the match ratio after or on the ladder. The individual player statistics from our match here at Windy Hill, and first up, Craig O'Brien from Essendon.
Well, Craig certainly did have a good game, and the stats verify that. 28 kicks and 20. Oh, that's just
38 possessions, that's just a marvellous effort, and 2 goals to boot. Terrific effort from the little fella.
Well, I thought Simon Tregenza, look, 2 great quarters, first and third, but I thought he battled hard all day, had a terrific battle with Michael Long at times. He's a good player, Simon.
And Gary O'Donnell, he's one of those fellows that just goes around and does his job week after week. I didn't think he had 23 kicks, but he certainly had jobs to do today, and he picked up 28 possessions, and that's a fantastic effort if he had one of those main jobs.
Well, Bartlett, I thought he did a fairly good job also. He took a couple of good marks, particularly that first and third quarters also. 14-6, 8 marks. Well, a good game by Alan Bartlett.
All right, let's check the scores now. The other 3 games being played today. A thriller at Moorabbin that resulted in a draw. Clash between the Sydney Swans and Richmond saw the Swans get up in a very high-scoring game. Over 40 goals scored there. 24-20, 164 Sydney, defeating Richmond 19-13, 127. Fitzroy and Footscray, I believe the Bulldogs virtually got up on the last kick of the day. They won by 16 points, but they came right away from the Lions in the last quarter, trailing 67-74 at 3-quarter time, 15-16 to 12-18 Footscray. And Melbourne and Carlton. Look at Melbourne, 12-10 at 3-quarter time. They kicked 11 goals in the last quarter, 23-17, 155. An upset win over Carlton, 17-8, 110.
Time now to check the CUB AFL 1991 Premiership Season League ladder.
And with the round to be completed tomorrow, this is how it looks at the moment. The West Coast Eagles doing it pretty well after their victory last night. Essendon, Geelong, Hawthorn, Carlton and Collingwood in the 6, followed by St Kilda, Melbourne, Adelaide, Sydney, North Melbourne, Footscray, Richmond, Brisbane and Fitzroy. The last 3 yet to open their accounts. Tomorrow we have Brisbane and Geelong at the Gabba, so for Brisbane supporters, get up there and support the Bears. Don't forget, it's at the Gabba, not at Carrara tomorrow. So get along there to give the Bears your support. I think it should be a particularly good game, probably a high-scoring affair on the smaller Gabba ground. So a pretty good day's football, a draw at Moorabbin, Essendon defeating Adelaide here in the match of the day at Windy Hill. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage and hope you can catch up with us tomorrow. More football exclusively to 7 Sport. Good afternoon to you all.
Large field, an umpire stands. He's got a ball raised up in the air. He's waiting for a siren to ring. In the streets of any suburb, in any country town in Australia, little children are dreaming the very same thing. It's an obsession. Football. Australia's national game. Let's play football. It's an obsession. Football. Let's play football. Season, the captain stands with a cup raised in the air. The winner of Australia's national game. Football. Put your feet up. Let's play football. Try and relax. Football. It's football time. Let's play football.
This has been a 7 Sport production.